Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 268. I am B.
Chick.
Ryan,
We're back, baby.
We're back.
we're back. A lot
How you
of
guys doing?
hiatuses. Well, I thought we were done with the hiatuses.
I
The
know.
weeks off, but
What happened? Well, Chick's got baseball.
I'm to blame. I was.
I
away,
didn't
but
even know you were going away that. He knew you were, and I
Yeah.
don't know
It was
why I
kinda last
completely
minute.
forgot.
And
I
I'll
told-
tell you why. Because he was so depressed last week or 2 weeks ago that we ended the show and he just walked out to his car. Do
Yeah,
you
he
remember
did.
that?
Uh-huh.
And we were still kind of chatting.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies.
And you were out like, I need a cigarette. So you were in your car before we.
Yeah.
You literally,
That makes
you literally
sense.
moved the microphone away from you and said goodbye. So that's why.
Yeah.
How
I
was
remember
it?
that. Good. Yeah, but I told you guys to do one by yourselves, and you didn't. So.
Well, I asked him if he wanted to, and
Yeah.
he basically was like, I have one day free, and I had baseball that night.
Okay.
Which
No.
baseball is going
No.
awful.
We spoke and you said, do you feel like doing? Because we were able to record, but here's the thing: we have such a good thing going here, video wise,
Yeah.
and everything else. It's like we can miss a week instead of like getting together.
You'd rather have the video than not have the
Well,
video.
yeah, and that was the other thing is we would rather have the video than have all these videos and then one shit episode with no video.
Yeah. I mean,
why
it
mess up
happens.
the flow?
Right. I don't mind. I don't want you guys to think,
No.
you guys did this for years without me. So
No.
even
We
if you
could
set-
have. That
even
was
if you
a
just-
that
even
was
if you
a,
just set up a phone pointed at you guys, I could, and then I
it was a
send me the
conscious
stuff.
choice
and
not to.
All right.
Nah,
Better with you.
I appreciate
you're
it.
part of the team now, my friend.
All right. Well, yeah, but we've done one with that chick. So what does that make?
That's
him?
because I kind of pushed that.
I mean,
I have my own fucking issues that
that was
push
also
on.
a lie that you were.
That
you
was
were
when I
pre-
came clean. I
he
said
was
I just
pretending.
didn't want to do
That's
it.
right.
I pretended to pick up
And
my
then he also
parents.
pretended early this week.
Yes,
That he had.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Your baseball game.
What do you mean? I had it.
Nah, come
Yeah.
on.
I've actually had to play in my fall ball, and I'm not happy about it.
So
Chick,
you are a recreational softball coach or manager, not even a coach, manager. You're a manager of a recreational softball team.
Yes,
And
basically.
you're mad when you have to play.
I used to not be, but yeah, now I'm starting to get accustomed to just managing and hanging out with the boys where, yeah, I don't want to play most of the time. I like to bat here and there, but not
Who
always.
doesn't?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a little league, I was like, I guess I'll go, like everybody goes to the field to wait till they can get
to
to
the
bat
swing,
again.
yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much what baseball
But
is.
I
Yeah.
always was a kid who liked playing in the field more. I really, because I was better in the field than I was at hitting. So
Would you play?
when I was younger, and like I was an infielder, usually like third base or first and second. I wasn't quick
Never
enough.
short.
I was never the shortstop, but I
Third.
was usually third, second,
yeah.
or first. I had a great glove, but I didn't have a great bat. And but now I can hit singles, but now I just choose to not really play most of the time. But for fall ball, we've been so short-handed that I've had to play every game.
Fall's tough, man. It's like fall has become the busy season. Like summer used to be.
It
like,
is.
There's so much to do in the fall.
Oh
now.
no, I agree because
So-
everybody on the team's got shit going on, and it's
Yeah.
like I think a lot of it's with kids have a lot of their sports are in fall and summer they
That's
kind
true.
of don't.
Yeah.
So the parents are always
School
busier.
is picking up.
School.
There's the Halloween thing is huge. Like we just said, we want to try to hit a haunted house, which I'm against, but I'll do it for the show. Yeah, it is. It's definitely. Do you see that move? I just put my.
That was perfect. I'm
my
happy
hand
you
out.
did that.
I don't know what he was gonna say. I don't have an ending to what I'm gonna say, but I knew I didn't want to hear what he had to say.
You just didn't want me to cut you off, which was great because I was about to.
I
But
know.
go.
I just heard him breathe in. I was like, something's coming.
That was. I hope people can see that because you literally shut me down,
Yeah,
and I.
that's 5 years of doing a show together, right
That
there.
What it is, where he just did it, and I actually was like, okay, I'll listen.
By the way, also I had nothing to say either. So I was just reiterating that fall is busy.
So what do you want to do for this? You want to just talk about it after, or you want to actually videotape?
Well,
part of
I
it?
was gonna say I would like to videotape it, but I don't think they'll let you bring video
Yeah, no.
because I feel like a lot of those
gotta get
places
those
don't want people to
glasses.
see the scares and stuff. They kind of keep
Yeah.
it private.
I gotta get those glasses. Those
the discreet ones that have
Ray-Ban glasses. Yeah.
Wait, those actually like really exist, like commercially, like to
Yeah,
buy?
yeah. My
oh,
friend
I
has
didn't.
them. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know how they do in like low light.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be the one who tries to do it, and if anybody's gonna get, I don't mind getting yelled at.
What, with the camera?
Yeah, like I would try to if you want to like set me up
With the glasses,
with
or
anything.
just a regular camera,
or
just
whatever,
regular
either
camera.
or. I'll try it and see if they
Make like a fake like body cam. Or
Yeah.
just put like a phone in like your like.
Oh,
like
we
a
could-
chest
yeah, we could
area.
try to do that.
Or
I like
GoPro. I got 2 GoPros. We could
That's what I'm
I got-
saying.
I got a
I also
GoPro
don't know how they do them low. Like it's haunted house is tough to shoot. I've shot
'Cause you need a
haunted
light,
houses
right?
before,
Like
like
a-
in video. Yeah, but anytime if you shoot a light on something, then you're eliminating what makes the haunted house the haunted house.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
you have to film it as is, and as is dark.
naturally
That's
almost
by-
unwatchable, probably. I would
Yeah.
imagine, right?
Yeah, and it's possible with a good camera. It's possible good cameras can pick up what it needs to. But Jack's new camera probably would do well with that. But that's
Well, Jack might have to come with us.
Well, we could just talk about it.
Well,
That,
I was thinking either recording us video or audio. I just think it would be fun, and then we could kind of
yeah.
use that as our Halloween episode and kind of go.
I'm
from
down.
there.
I was telling Chick on the way here, I just don't understand the haunted house. I don't understand.
I'm not much of a fan either, but I've
like,
gone to plenty.
So
yeah.
am I the only haunted? Am I the only guy who's kind of into the whole scary haunted stuff out of us three, at least?
Every woman I've ever known is into it, and I'm not into it. Yeah.
I think women like it because they
Women
like
love-
having the guy, like a guy there
Nah, I
too,
just-
to also.
Women I know just like getting scared. Like they just like haunted houses, I feel like.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I like a hayride.
Like a hayride.
Want a haunted hayride?
No, just a real hayride.
relaxing.
Why
leisurely
everything gotta be
hayride.
haunted?
Yeah, I'm not a big Halloween. I don't like the costumes. I'm not a big Halloween
See, and
person.
I've realized as I've gotten older that Halloween is one of my favorite. When I was younger, it used to be fun, and I don't think I realized how much I enjoyed Halloween until as I got older, where I'm like, I miss going out. Like some of my favorite Halloweens as I gotten older have been going out with my nephews and my brother and his friends, like going for the kids and just walking with them. Like
That's
love
a different
Halloween.
story.
That
if you're
is
dealing
fun.
with young kids, yeah. I can see
Yeah,
that
but
being
even like doing Halloween parties and stuff, I enjoy them. Like it's one of my favorite seasons. I'm also a big horror guy, so like this whole month, that's all I've been watching and
Yeah.
stuff. I kind of really dive in.
He drove us to a show last night, and he sat in the parking lot and watched Nightmare on Elm Street the entire show. Didn't even come in. Just sat in his car and watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and then went home and watched like what?
I've been on a. So what I
watched
do?
four
But
of
why
them.
did you drive him to the show?
Because they asked me for
We
a
a- we
ride.
asked for a
I
ride.
told them, I was like, I really don't feel like going to a comedy show tonight. They're like, we do
You
us
were
a
down
favor and
to,
give
like,
us a
hang out
ride.
for a while.
So I was like, all right, I'll give you guys the ride, and then you guys go in, and I'll just kind of do what I would normally do at home, and just hanging out in my car.
Yeah.
So I smoked some pot, and I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and waited for
That's
them.
what you do at home. You do
That's
that-
what I said, yeah.
well, that's why it was
exactly.
the
Yeah.
perfect.
It was
like,
perfect. Like I did them a favor.
we
I
were
was a
looking
nice
for
guy.
a ride. We
You
had
should
to
start
buy him
charging people
cigarettes.
for this and make a little bit of money on the side.
he
for,
does.
Trust me, they took care of me.
All right.
That was part of the thing.
All
We
right.
buy him cigarettes and gas money.
That's it. I'm like a weirdo too. It's not even like money I need. It's
I
like,
know. We were ready to give him cash. We're like, well, we'll both give you some cash. He's like, I
great.
want cigarettes and I want gas. I'm like, all right,
That's
deal.
all I needed.
I've always been the driver too because I've never drank, so I've always
Yeah.
been like my
Soon I'm gonna have
sisters,
to call
friends.
this guy.
Yeah, I mean, if, I'm
He'll be number 2.
yeah. I feel like early on that was always my in to get invited places. I would always be like, I guess we'll invite Ryan. He'll drive us. Like,
I always get
that was-
invites too.
That was my way
drive.
of getting invited. Like I feel like if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be getting invited a lot of places.
It's a great thing having a friend that drives everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
It's been good for a lot of my friends have benefited off of me.
It's just
Especially more towards when we were younger and we went out. It was
Yeah.
like we don't 4 or 5 people wouldn't have to pay for a cab.
yeah.
Like, some might have to if it was going out in a big group, but there was always 4 or 5 like I'm in Chick's car.
I used to do pre-Uber, like before it even existed. So Cheryl used to bartend, like a real hole-in-the-wall bar. And I would hang out all night, just because it was a hole-in-the-wall bar and
Yeah.
my wife was bartending.
Yeah.
But I would end up just like, I got friendly with some of the people there. Some people like you'd never expect to be friends with. You're friends with because you're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
at a hole-in-the-wall bar. But I would just start driving people home. You know, like I became like the guy, like, oh yeah, Ryan will drive me home. And actually, I had to like. This one woman I drove, she started kicking me down the ride home. Like people, like,
What do you mean?
so like halfway through the ride home, she's hammered, and I'd never met this woman before, but they're like, oh yeah, Ryan will drive you home. So she, like, so I was like, yeah, give me the car. Just tell me where she lived. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go. And I would drive her home, come back, maybe pick up somebody else, maybe take a couple trips. To the night.
Jesus, were you
Yeah.
getting paid?
No, I just was like, I was hanging at the bar, not drinking. So I'm like, yeah,
Just like doing
20
people a
minutes.
favor.
20
Dude,
minutes,
that's
I'll be back.
Samaritan.
Nice.
What I actually had what I should have done was what I shouldn't have done because people don't drive drunk. But I'm like, what I really should do is like drive ahead of people, but drive like I'm drunk, and then get a cop to pull me over.
So they can go
I'm stone
straight.
sober. Then they drive past.
I've actually done
drive-
that so most where I've had to follow people
That's an
who were driving
incredible
drunk because they
Yeah.
needed their car and like they wouldn't get in my car. Where I had to be like, all right, I'll drive behind you. If I see a cop, like I'll do so. I'll take the fucking hit.
Yeah,
I'll
just
take-
swerving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My one buddy was almost driving on the other side of the road. I was like, dude.
I remember you.
But
told
then
me
it's
that.
like, but I'm still gonna get a ticket for like reckless driving.
Yeah, he's paying that ticket.
yeah, right. But it's not a DWI.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's
it's not
a
a.
huge
That's a
thing,
friend
though.
thing. That's a
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
move.
That's a pretty genius service, if you ask me.
Yeah, just the decoy.
Yeah.
decoy
The
car.
The decoy,
Decoy
car, you just gotta
drunk.
hope he doesn't kill somebody. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you,
I would feel
keep
awful.
going.
You know,
Yeah.
if like that drunk, yeah, I could never.
Yeah,
do it.
that would be bad.
So
I
there's
guess.
this one woman, yeah, she was hammered, and like we're halfway to her house, and she goes, let's go to Manhattan. and I'm like, I can't. I have to go be back. I'm actually.
not happening.
I'm driving my
There's
wife
another
home.
guy I have to pick up in 10 minutes that I don't know.
So, but she gets like, what's the matter? You don't have any fun.
You don't
She
know how
goes,
to have
you don't have like
fun.
spontaneous fun. And I said, I'm like, I just not about spontaneity. I mean, I have to be back. I'm a responsible adult. So then she starts. She leans back to the against the window and just starts kicking me. I'm driving the car and she's just kicking me in the seat. I'm like this. I gotta grab her feet.
What?
Yeah, I'm grabbing her feet. And I'm just like, I'm in
She's
this
in
car.
the front seat.
She's in my passenger seat, yeah, and she's just like mule kicking me into my.
Are you at that point like, what am I doing with my
yeah,
life?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But I'm great. I got her back, and I'm used to this. My sister used to do this with me all the time. When we were getting fights as kids, she would always drop to the couch and just start kicking me.
That's a good move. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah. It's
when you,
almost indefensible.
it is because
Yeah.
when somebody now they're on the floor, you can't get to them and they're kicking you. When
Yeah.
it's a tough
Yeah.
move to get around.
Yeah, it's real.
It's like a windmill, just like coming at you. Like, wherever you go, you just can't.
You have to
you're looking
take a
you're looking
couple
for the
shots to get to
It's
them.
exactly it. You got to take a couple shots to get your arms around their ankles. And you got to like hog tie them. So that's what I do. I got her ankles like around my. And I'm driving. I'm still driving. And I'm driving. By the way, I drove her all the way home. Like I finished the ride. So.
Oh, she would have.
So I got her to the house. Now I'm trying to get her out of the car. She won't get out of the car. Now we're like fighting in her driveway. Big beautiful house in Nissaquag. Like, I don't know if the area, but
Yeah.
it's tons of money down there. So I get her out. I don't remember the exact what happened. I got her in the house, and she came back out of the house, and I'm in
You
the
actually
car.
tried to get her in the house?
Yeah. I tried,
God bless you.
So,
You went
we were,
above and
we were
beyond.
I'm like fighting with this woman. So I get her in the house. I get her in my car. Like I know, I get out of here quick. She runs out of the car, and then like a monkey jumps on the hood of my car.
No.
Yeah, jumps on my hood of my car.
Because you don't like to
breaks
have
my windshield.
spontaneous fun.
Yeah, I'm not spontaneous.
You're not
yeah.
spontaneous.
By the way, that's the most drunk thing to say ever.
Hey, let's
You
go to
don't like
Manhattan.
be spontaneous because you don't want to go to Manhattan.
So I just met you. It's like
Yeah.
you're judging.
You don't want to take an hour drive to Manhattan.
Yeah.
God knows what time.
You're taking everything like she was married. Like she's taking everything you hate about your husband out on me. Like you're
Yeah.
she looked at me. She saw my husband, her
That's
husband.
exactly what
Yeah.
it was.
You're not spontaneous.
Yeah.
You don't take me out on dates to Manhattan. By the way, if for some odd reason you were like, you know what, let's go to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Guarantee she's asleep by the
Oh,
time you hit
absolutely.
the
I've been-
bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge. She would have been sleeping before he got to the Southern State.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because you're coming
Absolutely.
from out
I'm
here.
aware- yeah.
Oh yeah, she's asleep.
Absolutely.
Fucking ridiculous.
And by the way, it's annoying because I do consider myself a spontaneous. Like I pride myself on my spontaneity. So
That's not-
I was like
It's
a little
almost an
self-
insult to you.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
fuck
like,
you.
like I almost took her up. And I'm like, call me non-spontaneous. So let's go right now. Cheryl, I'm not coming to the bar. I'm going to Manhattan.
I'm going to Manhattan.
With this crazy drunk bitch that
Somebody
you
just
put in my
challenged
car.
my spontaneity.
So she's on my roof on my car on the windshield, and I just sped off, and she went flying off my car.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
at
She
that
hurt
point.
herself?
I don't know,
cares
but
at
the
that
next day she didn't remember anything the next day, and I didn't know who she was, but somebody put a message on. I came back to the bar like sweating. I'm like, I'm like, you can't believe what just happened. And I just got to fight with that woman, like a physical fight. so somebody told her that she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She paid for my windshield wiper that she broke.
She broke a windshield
windshield
wiper
wiper
on
just
top
broke.
of the
Yeah,
car.
windshield wiper just broke off.
Wow.
And then she paid me extra money to not make sure I didn't tell her husband, anything that happened.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know who her husband is. I couldn't tell the man if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
listen, honey, I'm never want to see you or your husband ever again.
Turns out he's a big listener to the podcast. So you just told him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So,
wild. dude.
but I've had my drunk driving.
That's like to another level.
Oh,
when
I've
you,
had so many drunk
when you're
people
just
do dumb
like
things.
Chick drives like friends,
But
which-
yeah, they're my friends. That's the
Yeah.
one good thing.
so they just argue about sports or whatever the hell.
Or
You-
some of
and
them
you don't
like to be
drink a lot.
destructive.
You've been drunk, like you've drunk.
Oh, yeah,
to the
I've
point
drank.
of being hammered. So I don't even have a frame of reference of being drunk. I've never been drunk
So
in
you
my life.
you never even tried it when you were younger?
I've had
like,
a sip or two of beer over the years, like the taste.
Really? And that's
it.
about it?
I've never had anything more than that. Yeah.
have you ever done anything where you were out of
I've
your
never
mind? Like,
smoked.
not one thing.
Never not.
Good
I've
for
never
you.
not. Been
I actually respect that.
Yeah, I think that's
completely
good,
sober.
man.
But you really don't have a frame of reference. But
So I like.
But
and
I've
I
also-
I don't
sorry.
mind people getting drunk. Like I understand it's fun.
Yeah.
But there is a breaking point, and I have no like. I
zero tolerance.
not zero tolerance because I'm like, yeah. I just put up with it. I'm like, all right, here, this is what this night's gonna be. And it's
That's-
fun, but
I'm the same way though.
That's
'cause
brutal though. That somebody
being
that gets
the
to
driver,
that point.
Yeah.
I've had to be him numerous times. You have to deal with the drunks.
yeah.
I've never been kicked while I was driving, but I've had obnoxious like hands over eyes, like people thinking they're funny.
That's ridiculous.
No, but like even
Yeah.
for a second, just people doing like
Yeah.
like 18 people in your car and you could bet like it's
Yeah.
things like that. But most of my friends, it was like, that's not you want to go to Manhattan. It's like you want to drive around my house before you take me home so I could rip 18 cigarettes before I go in. Or
Yeah.
I want to destroy
There's a
garbage
stop for more beer
or go for
Yeah.
food.
Go for food.
That's a
White
big
Castle.
one.
How many times? Like one buddy of mine specifically was like, he would get drunk. He would just want a crave case. Like that was just what he
Ooh,
wanted.
a
He's like, I'm gonna
case.
polish off a case. He's like, split a case with me. 30 sliders. Split a case with me.
And they never realize you're not drunk too, so that's you sober
Well, I was
eating
fat,
30.
though. Yeah, but I could do 15. Yeah.
Well,
You
I
could-
would pick because I'm not a white. I was like, I'm not drunk enough to do White Castle, but I'll go somewhere else.
I haven't had White Castle in a long time, but man, that,
I only like the
can
chicken
go
wing
with that.
sandwiches.
You know,
Yeah.
my cousin's in the White Castle Hall of Fame,
Really?
and I keep
Kerry?
what?
Kerry?
No, my it's actually my cousin's wife that's in it. So and then her brother is in it as well.
what do you gotta do to
They're
get in
siblings that are in the White Castle Hall of Fame. Basically, you have to write a letter of why you love White Castle so much, and they narrow it down, and then they fly you out to like Cincinnati or something where it is. I think that's where the headquarters are. And you go on like a tour, and then you're in the. I think she got like a plaque or something like
Yeah.
that. But it's easy, and like I feel like it's easy
wants
enough.
to
Can
do
you?
that, though?
Can you?
I would want to do that. I just for the story, just to be like, I'm in the White Castle Hall of Fame, and then pull it up.
Yeah. Can
So
you?
it's-
Can you submit somebody else?
I don't know. Why not?
Yeah.
You have to
I'm
like
gonna
send a
nominate.
picture
I'm
of
gonna
it.
nominate Neil because I don't know if he loves it, but I know he used to go there for Valentine's Day all the time.
He did.
Yeah.
he
No, they
did. That's
didn't.
right.
Yeah,
That
'Cause
was
they,
their
they
Valentine-
do like a Valentine's
do a
Day thing,
special
so I'm sure he's
Valentine's
like the
Day.
only
No,
one
they
that.
don't.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
like
it's
they
huge.
put like tablecloths on the tables and stuff
And
like that. Yeah,
I guess I would never think to do that.
yeah.
They do it as almost like a, this is
It's
a
kitschy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I guess
It
that's
sounds
true.
pretty. I kind of like that. If
Yeah.
I,
I actually love White Castle, like for what it is, but yeah.
what are you guys doing on Valentine's
Somebody,
Day?
so I just heard somebody talking about White Castle the other day, and I was like, man, I could really go for a couple sliders.
I love their onion ring, chicken ring sandwiches.
Chicken ring.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
just get the chicken rings. I made when I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting,
You did?
and yeah,
My brother went there.
Yeah,
I was
it's a
thinking about doing that.
waste of
Never
money.
did.
I could literally teach you everything that you need to know that they taught you. But you have to pick something to make a commercial for. I picked White Castle, and the whole thing was like I love that they take food and change the shape of it. Like the whole angle is like
circles,
square burgers,
squares.
Yep.
chicken rings. They had like mozzarella triangles for a while. It's like the whole marketing team was like, all right, we got to take a food and then just change the shape of it and
change it.
just push it out there. Yeah. So that was the commercial was about. That's my favorite part about it.
I don't know. I think it's the square burger that always, like, I never really would fuck with their burgers. I would always really I was just a chicken guy, and I would just crush chicken ring sandwiches. But you can't get the bundle with chicken ring sandwiches, really. I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't ever remember seeing a
The
crave.
chicken ring is just too. It doesn't stand out as a different taste to me. Like the White Castle burger is such like a.
distinct burger.
It's so distinct, and it's for a time. Like it's not something I'm gonna go all the. It's like that's why I think that it's a genius marketing thing. The crave,
Yeah.
because it's like I don't
What's
want
the crave?
It's their marketing. Like it's like get the crave.
Oh,
the
okay,
crave
okay, okay.
case
Crave,
and
yeah.
whatever
I
the hell
got you.
it
I
is.
got you.
Because it's so true. Like White Castle is not something I haven't had White Castle probably over a year or so. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's probably been 5 years for me, but
Been a long
I
time.
don't even remember when.
So but when I get the crave for it, like
nothing
I
else,
want it.
Nothing else will.
yeah,
fulfill
sometimes
that
you just
crave.
need those little tiny burgers with steamed onions or whatever the hell whatever it is. It's
So I never
it's
did.
great.
They do the chicken sandwiches where it's that chicken ring is just they just put that on the sandwich on
Yeah,
the.
and then I
buns.
get it with cheese.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I would-
just too plain for me.
Get it with
I would
cheese.
do it.
It's
I would get a couple of those.
So you
and a
get the
couple
chicken
burgers.
ring separate though, or because that's even plainer. At least
No, no,
it
no.
has a bun.
What I mean is the chicken. It doesn't stand out.
Oh, I agree with you. It's
You
not.
know, like-
it's nothing exciting about that.
Like
but
chicken is chicken for the most part.
not
whether-
true, but true and not true.
Well, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
but they have good soft buns, so that adds to the chicken.
I was going to
sandwich,
say
like
the buns, like
Are
but
they?
like
are the
the ch-
buns like
they're
they are?
perfect. Yeah, it's the same
the same
exact
bun.
bun. They don't
Okay.
change anything. They just put it on the bun.
I feel like the burger bun gets like a little soggy.
Well, yeah, because it gets that juice from. There's no juice with the chicken.
See, that's what I see.
I get it.
and I
There's-
feel like
I feel like there's juice in that place. If it's in that place,
It's
there's
just-
some-
That's also
there's some-
probably
there's some
true.
grease getting on whatever it is.
That's
There's-
also
it's-
probably
there's
true.
airborne grease
It's
in that
just in
place.
the
yeah,
air.
you might be right. You might be right. Listen, I'm not saying I'm against it. I would try it, but if I'm going there, I'm probably getting the
They started
burgers.
selling. Actually, we was going there for a while because they were doing vegan burgers for a while, and
They were, yeah.
Were they good?
Yeah, it was. I have done vegan, vegetarian.
What's
for
a
a while.
vegan burger consist of? Like,
Are you
what is-
vegan right now?
No, but
But from like a fast food place, because I know they just freeze meat, or whatever, like shitty meat or whatever.
Well,
for
there's
like,
different. There's veggie burgers, but then there's also Beyond and Impossible burgers, which
is
are
the
like
fake meat, right?
which they say is like less healthy for you.
I
And I
believe
never, I
that.
never didn't eat meat for the health purposes of it. It was always, the animal cruelty aspect of it.
Okay.
But I would love
To me, it
to
would
one
only
day.
because of the health.
I want to actually wanted to do another podcast where I just journal my
different eating
my
diets.
vegan journey, like my vegan.
So- oh, how
'cause
long was it
ideally,
lived?
I would be vegan. Just like I'm ashamed that I eat meat and dairy.
Why though?
Just the animal cruelty part of it. Like,
I agree with you.
when you watch those documentaries,
No,
it's
and I
just-
and I
like the other day,
agree.
I was driving to the supermarket to get
If they
turkey
did it-
burgers, and a turkey like came across the street, and I was like almost hit it. I was like, oh shit, almost hit it. And I was like, what the fuck does it matter? Like I'm gonna go buy turkey burgers. Like, oh no, not this one. And,
If you
and
knew
then-
they came
you
from,
know what I mean? Like it doesn't. I would.
do you hate the fact that it's just an animal getting killed, or the way
It's
that
the way they're. It's the way
the way
they're.
that- okay.
Yeah. It's.
I
would
hate
be-
when
would
I
be-
see them force feed them with those tubes and
Right.
shit. That shit
Yeah,
is
I mean,
disgusting
don't-
to me.
Yeah, it's like
it's
you
brutal.
got to be willfully ignorant to that stuff to deal with it. It's just I love it so much. And ice cream I love so much, but it's like the dairy industry is just as gross as the meat industry.
now,
But
what is
different
the
reasons,
dairy?
though.
What is so gross about
it's
the
just
dairy?
the way it supports veal consumption, which is baby. That's
Baby cows.
yeah.
and the way those
like
goats are stored, like are
and
essentially
cows too,
stored.
right? Both of them.
Yeah, no, did I say goats? I mean,
Yeah,
goats is not great.
I
either.
wanted
Goat-
to be. I
goat-
said and
goat
cows because I
cheese?
wasn't sure if I missed something
No,
about goats
yeah.
too. But
Well, I mean, the whole thing. Goat
yeah,
cheese
well, the
and-
whole thing is
yeah.
it's awful
The,
what they
uh,
do, and I agree with him. But I don't feel this is like I don't like the way they do it. There's got to be a cleaner and better way, but obviously, I guess it's not more efficient.
Yeah.
When you're
if
dealing
it's,
with
if it's a true like free
free range,
like cow, which doesn't really exist. I mean, you know, I get, it does, but you can't just go out
It's
and
hard
buy
to
it
get
easily.
that stuff.
And-
Yeah,
'cause
it's not-
there's so many buzzwords for that, like that free range is made up. You know, grass fed
Yeah.
is like all this.
You
stuff is
really
like,
need
it's
to
all,
know
like,
the
made
company
up.
you're buying from.
Yeah. If I knew it was like a cow that had like a happy life and just went in there, they went out and killed it, I would be more open to eating that meat. But it's hard to get that type of food.
And that
This is a
I
bummer.
hear you.
Why are we bringing this up? Anyway, so I do
Shop at Main Street Meats, guys.
yeah. But listen, I eat meat constantly. Like I had
So
a-
wait,
you know,
when
like,
before we put a bow in this, when did you went back recently, or have,
I've always kind of dipped in and
you're-
out. So
you're-
Cheryl's vegan. Monique, who I'm seeing now, is vegetarian. Well, she's pescatarian. So like
That's just fish, right?
That's just fish, and she eats some dairy. But I always admire the people that do that. Like these people who like they both love meat, and you know, like they gave it up.
I feel like
because
it's gotta be
a
healthier,
it's a
too.
sacrifice.
Like,
it can be unhealthy because
It
pasta,
can be unhealthy.
Pasta is
I
vegan,
see that,
and
but if
chocolate
done
can be
the-
vegan.
like
You know,
I would.
Meat's not bad for you. It's
No,
just-
that's true.
it's, you know, there's good and there's healthy fats. There's healthy ways to. It's just the way that they're
Yeah, it's
done.
I would love to like just cut all that stuff out. Like I do it for vanity reasons. You know, unfortunately, like, I don't like.
Well, vanity or like health is not vanity. Like, 'cause you're worried about being healthier.
No, I want to look
You
good.
look good.
My health, my health is thrown to the
Yeah,
garbage
There's also
already.
different blood types, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I keep hearing different blood types that need different diets. So some people
makes sense,
some people
though. I
need a
believe
meat
it.
diet. Some people can live off a vegetarian diet. I'm not a doctor. This is what I've heard.
Yeah, I
but,
get it. It
that
makes
that makes
sense.
sense to me. So I don't know. I feel like a lot when I've not eaten meat for a long period of time. Like I feel like I feel kind of weak, but I probably just don't have enough protein. I probably don't eat.
You might be lacking something else in the diet that you
so
can
I
use
can
more of.
use supplements and
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't.
Well, I was just gonna say, to those people, a lot of them, do they have like vitamins that they have to take to make up for the lack of certain consumptions?
I don't know. I mean, I think you can just eat healthy. You can eat.
could still
beans
find
and
a
you
way
can
to
eat-
get
if you eat
everything,
enough
yeah.
produce. You're gonna get
Yeah,
what you
that's
need.
true.
And there's vegan protein shakes.
I
you
don't
can
like
do.
putting like to me, I don't eat fish because I just don't like. I just fish the smell, the taste, the texture, everything about fish
I
grosses me
can't
out.
do fish either.
See, I like fish. I feel like I could do only fish and feel okay with it because I don't have that. Like usually, you can easily get wild caught fish. And
But what
like
about the
calamari,
lobsters
I
that
have-
they take out of the tank?
I don't
that's
like
in
that.
the house.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
that.
gross.
Listen, I love
I
lobster.
just
Like
don't-
I went up to New England this weekend. My whole goal is like I'm going to get lobster rolls. Like so, yeah, no, I did the same thing. It feels awful.
Because I was gonna say, like a lot of those, like you don't want your like. I want my free range. I want my fish out of the ocean. I don't want
Yeah.
them out of fucking the tank.
Yeah,
that's
why
in
if you go up to New England, that's what you get.
the waiting lot, the lobby. I don't want
Yeah,
to
no.
see my.
Did
meal.
you guys see? There was a YouTube video out of a guy that saved a lobster from like it sounds crazy,
Like a
but
restaurant?
from a supermarket, and
Would he just take it and then put it back?
he
to
bought a lobster, like and like
Set
at
it
first,
free?
no, he kept
As a
it in a
pet.
tank, and it like how they have the rubber bands on their
Yeah.
claws,
Yeah, you take them off.
like his claws were all messed up at first, the muscles were done,
Yeah.
and then they grew them back.
so
He
he's
was snapping, and
when he was back to normal, did he let him back into the
That's
ocean?
kind of cool to have a pet lobster, though.
no,
Do people have pet lobsters?
the lobster was thriving in this tank, and he was gonna be dinner. You gotta see the damn thing.
I believe it. No, I believe it. Like
It was very well done.
I hate when I see people cook them live too.
Well, they say that there's a screech that comes from it, but that's not actually the animal making.
Yeah, I don't think that's-
It's not. The
I don't
lobster.
care about the screech or
That's
anything.
that's the air, the steam coming out of the shell. Like,
Yeah,
like
I
finding its
just
way out of
don't
the
need to
shell.
see an animal
You're right.
boiling.
Shrimp, I will never stop eating shrimp because I have no emotional connections. Like to me, they're literally just like they're not a real.
They're like almost just an orgasm. that,
Yeah,
like,
An orgasm.
organism.
They're good, but I wouldn't go that far.
An organism that's just floating around.
Some
Yeah.
people call shrimp
Yeah.
the orgasm of the sea. So did you have lobster roll this weekend?
I did, yeah. Lobster. I didn't get the one I wanted because it was closed the day I
Wait,
tried
but no,
to
go
there,
back
but
to what you were gonna say. I'm sorry.
that was it. Just I would just shrimp. I would always eat because I don't.
You don't respect the shrimp.
Yeah, like I fish. I don't really. I don't
He
know. I
doesn't
feel like
respect the orgasm.
a lot of
the
fish are
sea.
caught, and then I feel like I don't know. It's
There's
also
just
not
so
great.
many
but
of
I just,
them, too.
I don't have like I don't look at a
I got
fish
you.
and go like, oh, it's so cute. But like I look at a cow and I go, oh, that's so cute.
That's like that Patrice O'Neill bit with because fish don't have eyebrows, we don't give a shit about them. He's like, we don't eat shit. Dogs have eyebrows. You can see emotions. You can't
Yeah.
see that with fish.
Yeah,
Somewhere along those lines.
true.
I just fish. I just think the ocean is one big toilet. And I know, like, I'm eating dirty animals, so I can't really use this as a thing.
Yeah.
But like, they swim in their own shit and piss, and like,
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I
all
just
clean.
I don't
Like,
know
it's,
everything
you know, you're
about
not eating,
fish.
you know, like,
The
they clean it
smell
up
and
pretty
everything
good
is just gross.
Yeah, I'm not a fish
And I don't
guy.
like that they cook, and it's not really like, oh, this huge more like whatever. I just don't understand why they cook some of them alive. Why do they boil it alive?
Well, the worst is
Is there no way to kill a lobster before you put it in? Do you have to
I think
boil
it's
it?
fresher. I think it's just.
I mean, can't you
How
kill a second
fresh-
before? How much fresher are we talking?
no, I
1
don't know.
second fresher?
I don't know.
Can't just clamp his head real quick?
clamp the head. That sounds funny.
I think maybe there's
you
like
gotta-
no way to kill it because sometimes they like to present it like as a full lobster.
Yeah, they always want to show you a live
there's
lobster.
no way to.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I feel like a real live lobster. I don't know. I just a lot that I don't appreciate that.
Sushi? Do you do sushi?
Oh no, that's fish basically.
No, I mean it is.
Yeah, it's-
I mean,
It's even
man, that's
fresher
funny.
and not cooked than regular.
I'll tell you what I
fucking
do like. I
seafood.
like the sweet potato roll.
potato
That's
roll's
about
good.
as
Yeah,
vegan
sweet
as I
potato-
get.
Yeah, there's also peanut avocado roll that's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that doesn't have meat in it's vegan.
Yeah,
Pasta
it used to
is
be.
vegan.
I used to go to a place, the Kumo, that shut down because 20 people got sick from it. They had to shut the place
That
down.
was the fried rice place?
Yeah, I used to go there.
What did they do?
Years, I haven't been
was
there.
it
I
one
heard
bad
about
day
this.
or
Yeah,
was
I
it
think so.
numerous days?
One lazy guy in the kitchen, some bad rice, and people got sick, and they shut the place down.
But I
For
didn't.
one day? I mean, I don't.
It was a
No, it was
lawsuit. It was a
pretty bad.
lawsuit, so it was like
all
maybe,
right.
yeah.
But I didn't know fried rice had this thing where like it could go bad and like really.
I don't know anything
Hurt
about it. I
people.
thought
It's
maybe
probably
something got
egg
in it. I
Yeah,
think
it's probably the egg or something.
like maybe
in it.
chicken got in it or something.
But there was a specific name if I remember.
He probably
that-
cut with the same
that
knife and
with-
didn't clean a knife or some
Yeah.
shit.
but it was something specific to fried rice, I believe.
Oh yeah.
That it was like some sort of a bacteria can grow from this. And
Maybe the
it is
rice
with
wasn't
the egg.
maintained right. I'm sure
I
everything
don't
could
know. Yeah.
get some
I've been in that kitchen. It didn't look great.
Oh, I've been in the back of some delis and shit when working for Red Bull and stuff on the island. Where it's if you saw the backs of these places, whether the food's good, clean or not, it's just like the storage areas are like, oh my, it's grotesque.
You can tell what like you know, especially like, you're in a lot of kitchens. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming for work as well. But like you can tell which restaurant you want to eat at by the kitchen.
Yeah.
If you ever see a
which
restaurant
you
get
don't wanna
taken
eat at.
food for the employees, you don't eat there.
That what?
If you ever see a restaurant get takeout for their employees, it's a good possibility that food's gross.
Makes sense.
Not always. I mean, sometimes
they're
you want to
sick
eat
of it.
something else.
Yeah.
But usually at a restaurant, you could almost make
Yeah, if you're there every
anything
day, like,
you
I used-
want.
I used to work at a pizza place, and you want to be like, all right, I'm going to the deli.
Well,
And
pizza's
because-
place is a little different.
That's different. You're not going to want pizza every
Yeah,
day.
you can't eat pizza every day.
I mean, some people would love pizza.
Yeah, but
every
if
day.
you want Applebee's every day,
no, but there's a whole listen, I
whole
could have
menu
a
of
salad here, I
different
could have a
stuff.
chicken
Certain point,
sandwich.
you're
And I feel like if you're in the back in those places, like when I worked at a deli, you could pretty much make
up something else.
anything that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
So I don't see like, unless you're really fiending something like, oh, I want, like you have a craving for something.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't like seeing restaurants take out for their employees.
Yeah.
Restaurants specifically because they can cook a wide
made a
array
vi-
of food.
I made a YouTube video a couple years ago about talking about how I'm in and out of a lot of kitchens, and sometimes you see something and you want to like. I wanted to make a series of videos like judging
Lose your job.
judging kitchens. Yeah, kitchens, but I can't exactly. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I said that I'm like, there's one place in West Hampton that I'm like, I would like beg people to never go, and like I don't know how they still open this place.
Do you
wonder what
think some
place
of
it
these are
is.
just because people don't see it? Or do you think
Well, this one place looks like shit from the outside.
That's
Like,
why I was saying some of
I
them-
drive by it, and if you would just drive by it in the middle of the day, it only opens late. You would think like, oh, that place closed down. That's too bad. But then like I'm making deliveries there, and I'm like, who's coming here? Because I said in the video, I was like, it makes me want to eat there because I'm like, this food must be so
It must be
good,
so
Good
good.
that people
that
don't
people
care.
come back here. Like they overlook all this stuff to eat here. It must be incredible.
I've
And you're in
been-
the Hamptons.
I've been at some shitholes that
Yeah.
were clean though. Like they look like dumps, maybe in a
This
shitty
kitchen-
area, and the kitchen, like the
Yeah.
inside is clean, and the
I
food
looked
is
at it.
banging.
It's one Greek guy in the kitchen smoking a cigar. It's dark in there.
He's
And just
smoking
like
a
he's just
cigar.
smoking a cigar in the
You
kitchen.
know why? It's probably homemade, even though this may not be the cleanest because the guy's not washing his hands, but
Yeah.
the food is great. You just take
That
your
sounds like
chances.
one of there's sometimes when the hole in the wall place is just so good.
Yeah.
The food is better than the surrounding area, everything
Maybe.
around
Yeah.
it.
I don't like eating food from people. Okay, so like when people bring homemade stuff to events and things like that,
You've mentioned this before.
I am so judgy of where it's coming from,
Wow.
of the person, and I have no right to be. It's not like I'm this big cook, but I don't trust other people's hygiene.
You don't think
Period.
was the type that would be worried about that.
I know.
And
I
this
know.
Is not to
Isn't
be
it wild?
insulting. This is.
But even if you
just
went in
seem
my
like-
room, I may look like a bum, but I'm clean. I'm a clean bum. Like I'm
Yeah.
His look-
obsessive about washing and cleaning things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll fucking dress like I have holes. You know, like yeah, I
Yeah,
get
I guess
it.
that's what it is. The,
The
baggy
dirtiest thing about
clothes.
him is the way he looks.
Yes,
But he's very
and I'm
clean.
clean though. Under this is very clean. But this is also more of it's not something I'm proud of because I have no right to be. I just don't. If I don't see you cook like I know my sister-in-law, my aunts, like my family, they could cook things. I'll eat anything my family makes because I've been doing it my whole life. Outside of homemade stuff, it's like did this person wash their hands? What did they like?
Right.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
What
even,
did they use on this? Or I get to certain people, I'll eat anything they cook, and some I won't eat anything you cook. And a lot of it comes to like, oh, I brought home cookies, like my mother when she worked at the school. Oh, somebody baked cookies. I'm not fucking eating some random person's cookies. She would go to these cookie parties
Yeah.
and bring home a whole tray of cookies.
if I don't know who made the cookies, I'm not eating them.
Some people have awful, and I just see like that Greek guy might make great stuff, and people try, oh my God, it's amazing. But meanwhile, the guy's scratching his balls, picking his nails while he's making it in the back.
Yeah.
That grosses me out.
Yeah, I have a pretty strong stomach for that. I don't really consider stuff like that, but yeah, this like is I've been in a couple kitchens, and I'm like I would never eat here. Yeah.
I don't like eating open drinks that are left in busy areas.
Yeah. Well, that could.
But like even at a bar, like the fact that everybody's glasses are just open
Yeah.
and there's just so much shit floating around bars and
Yeah.
spit coming out of people's mouths.
I just like I
I
never.
like
I,
a good cap on my
I never
drink.
get sick, and I just feel like it's because I kind of don't consider that stuff.
But I don't get sick often. I'm
Yeah.
not like
You can go to-
obsessive
it's
with
not-
doing
yeah,
it.
right. You
But
can
it's
get
just
too
like
far where
certain
you're not-
things just kind of skeeve me out. And I don't even know if it really is a germaphobe thing. It's just people just disgust me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I get it. I'm not like, you don't look at me like, oh, look how well kept
no,
he
no.
is.
I mean, you discussed a lot of people.
I probably disgust a lot of people.
So, are you taste over atmosphere, like or taste over environment, or
No,
vice
I'm an
versa?
environment over.
Like, if you want to pick a place to eat, are you more concerned with like how like if it's like a cool looking place and like clean, or would you rather like it's
doesn't have to
good
be
food?
cool looking. It's got to feel clean. I don't like eating at places I feel. Burger King to me is dirty and grimy. I will never eat burger. I'm not a healthy. I eat fast food. Burger King to me is below fast food.
Below fast food.
Interesting.
It just
What is
every
the look?
Burger King.
I'm not a big
just
Burger
every
King
Burger
guy myself,
King. The people. I don't like to say the people who work at Burger Kings over other places, but like every time I'm in a Burger King, I get skeeved out. It's just something about the way everything's done in those places. I never feel like they're clean. They always feel dirty. And listen, I'll eat at a shitty ass fucking McDonald's somewhere, but it just I don't know. The vibes
McDonald's
are a
seems to
little-
do things right, though.
They seem so corporate.
Checkers to me
with-
always seems gross.
Checkers.
Checkers is another one that I
Yeah.
love. Checkers, but I don't eat there because it grosses me out.
Yeah.
You know why I don't like Checkers? Because they give dumb names to their burgers. The Big Buford.
The only place that's kind of sometimes in sketchy areas and doesn't look great that I will still eat is Popeyes.
I haven't had Popeyes.
Love that chicken
wow.
from Popeyes.
Love that
You ever see
chicken.
that video? They got the driver made like a guy delivered there first thing in the morning because like they have before they open the driver comes and delivers
Okay.
the chicken, and he obviously has been there a number of times, and every time he opens the back door, he sees the rats scatter.
Oh,
So he opened the door. He was filming it. He opened the door and like he posted it online. He's like, look at all of them. Look at them. Look at them all scatter. And like, as they're running around, he goes, Little chicken from Popeye. he's like, you still want to eat here? And I think I went to Popeyes that day because I was like, oh, I love that chicken sandwich.
I haven't had that chicken sandwich since.
Do you know how many
came out.
places there are that have rats?
Most places.
can't
Most
worry about that.
You can't.
Especially from Manhattan, you can't
In
be like-
Manhattan, there's
Yeah.
rats in every little place you're eating. You got to hope that the place still just, they got to be cleanly.
Yeah, I went
there's
to
going to
cool-
be rats. You just got to hope that they do things right.
Went to a cool place last night in Harlem called The Fox. And it looks cool. Good food. They had like a shirt that said The Fox Harlem. I'm like, oh, I want one of those shirts. The staff. And I was like,
You got
well,
merch?
No, I was like, well, let me eat the food first before I go buying their merch. But it was really good food. So maybe I'll buy a shirt. But it's funny because I wanted to go. I was going to Harlem because I was finally going to the Apollo Theater. I've always wanted to go there.
I thought they closed it though. Didn't they close it and reopen or?
Maybe, yeah. But they've done like a couple big shows over the year. Like I know like Sirius XM did like huge acts. They did, like
didn't they-
Metallica
they
played
did
there,
Pearl
U2
Jam,
played there.
Metallica.
Like they had like a string of like huge
Springsteen
acts play
was there?
Springsteen, yeah. And he played like a really unique set there. Like he
Yeah,
didn't play like a lot of his biggest songs. People were going, I was like, oh, he didn't play, whatever.
Born to Run. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't know if you guys were like me. Like when I was a kid, I would watch on SNL. I liked SNL.
Loved it.
Yes.
But to me, it was like after SNL was Showtime at the Apollo, and that was like
100%. I used to love that.
I could not wait for Showtime at the Apollo every week. I would
I
like.
didn't watch it religiously. I'd be
Oh
lying
my
if I
god,
said I
Steve
did.
Harvey was the host,
Yep.
and the prime time. There's some other hosts at the time. I think some other Kings of Comedy. I think even hosted.
They
it.
did.
I think
Kings
yeah.
of Comedy, yeah.
So I just like amateur night. Like I just the idea of like people getting booed off stage. Like if people didn't watch, it was like they would have good acts. They would
Yeah,
have
no,
like
I remember- I
headliners.
watched it. I
Headliners would
wasn't
show up,
religious like you
they would have
guys.
like SWV at the time would do it.
Yeah.
Would do a show, and they'd have like comics would come on and do a show. But they would always have an amateur portion of it, and like they would come out. They'd rub the log.
The log.
And then they'd perform, and then if they weren't bad, you boo. Like people would be standing up. Like, I just, as a kid, I'm like, they're just in the people's face, like you suck. Like get off the
Yeah.
stage, and the Sandman would come out, and then like they pull him off the stage.
It was
You
almost.
can't do that now.
Well,
That
they
show
do
would-
it.
They do it there.
They do it.
But they don't air it? That's not on TV anymore, is it?
No, I don't think this is getting aired. So I went to amateur. This was amateur night at the Apollo, hosted by Capone, who's been doing it for. He's been hosting this for like
Capone
25
from Capone
years.
and Noriega.
No, so it's so funny. Good both way. Good call.
I was I let you say that first because I didn't think it would be him.
no. There's a
Capone Bone.
comic from the 90s. He used to do Def Comedy Jam.
Oh,
His
okay.
name is Capone.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, and so yeah, he's been hosting it for like 25 years, and so I just was driving through Harlem to get to Central Park one day, and I was like, where's the Apollo Theater? I'm like, I've never even seen the outside of it. So I kind of looked it up. I'm like, that's right. I'm like, I never found it, but I went to the website. I'm like what's going on there? And I was driving, and Monique was in the passenger. I'm like, Leo, what are the websites? See what's happening at the Apollo these days? And she goes, oh, I'm like, she's just like, they have an amateur night. I said, I'm like, they got an amateur night? I'm like, we gotta go. So I'm like, immediately we bought tickets.
Was it awesome?
And it was so cool. Like, first of all, just walking up to it, seeing the Apollo Theater was so incredible.
Yeah.
And then being in there, and it's so much smaller than you.
They got the big white, what do they call those things? The second signs.
marquee. Yeah.
See, I remember feeling like I used to drive in that area, and one day I was like, oh my God, the Apollo Theater's right
Yeah.
here. So I had to get out and like walk around. I'm like, it's like just on this block.
I know, it's
It was like
crazy.
it was like, it doesn't feel like
There's just so much history.
it should be
like-
here.
Oh,
I know.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's
And
crazy.
it's wild.
And like you forget that these famous places, like you can just go see and like go in them.
Yeah.
and-
Did Def Jam do their... was that at the Apollo?
I don't know.
I don't think so. They might have done some stuff there though.
Yeah.
I just remember, I
They
feel like
didn't
I always
make,
saw the
like,
Def
a thing
Comedy
of it, I
Jam
guess.
thing at the Apollo.
I'm sure they've done.
They're doing
stuff
next
there.
week. They got a poetry night in a couple weeks.
I would.
They're
I
doing-
would definitely. I honestly thought it was. I didn't even know it was still open.
Yeah,
That's
there's
why.
like
I,
So
couple
what?
of-
So what's it like? You walk in there.
Yeah,
Give
there's
us
there's
the
merch.
breakdown.
There's like Apollo merch, which I regret not buying. There's one shirt that just
Dude,
said
you missed
Apollo.
out on some merch this week. What are you
I
doing?
did, yeah, I know. But this was the same night. I could have got the Fox Harlem and Apollo.
Yep.
So
he's doing everything that I've wanted to do in the city now. But
Here's
anyway.
here's what I want to do. I want to go to Sylvia's, which is a world
Yeah.
famous soul food place in Harlem. And I'm like, I can't go to my first time ever to the Apollo Theater and go to Sylvia's. It's gonna seem like I'm like LARPing as a black person. Like, I'm doing all of the Harlem black people
You've
things
hit
in one
all the
night.
Harlem spots.
Yeah. It's like, I
Gonna go to
can't-
the Cotton
I
Club
can't-
next.
Exactly. So I didn't I'm like, we'll go to Sylvia's another night. Like, we'll just find a place close to, and Sylvia's is close. It's only a couple blocks up from the Apollo, so it's a very doable one.
Can you get
thing.
into Sylvia's?
I don't know. I do. Like, I'm not even.
Can we do that as one night? We'll do
Go to
Sylvia's
Sylvia's?
and then
Isn't
I
Apollo.
feel better
Rayo's up
going-
there as well?
I don't know.
I'm
And
just gonna
Rayo's you
start.
can't get
Can you just
into.
start inviting me in all these things that you
Yeah,
do? Because he's
yeah,
never
third
going to
wheel.
do it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
let's
start
third
all
wheel
over
it.
you.
Him, Monique, and you. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be my
And
money.
you're gonna
She
have to
loves-
pay.
she loves
you're
you,
gonna have to
yeah.
pay for him too. So
No, I'm wait. I'm getting a job now.
I texted her a screenshot of what you said earlier about I wish I was like you do cool shit. I wish
yeah.
I was dating him. So I said you better watch out. You got competition. I texted her a screenshot.
there's sharks swimming in the water.
Yeah, he's like, I got backups.
You
Bitch.
don't take me to Harlem.
Don't think you're not replaceable.
Tell Monique, hey, you better watch out.
Yeah,
So
and you better be ready for what you're gonna have to do to him. So. You got to keep this man satisfied, my friend.
So, but now that I've been to the Apollo, I'm like, all right, now I can do a Sylvia's Apollo night. I don't feel like I feel like I'm a little bit more.
You're in there now.
Yeah, you're.
So I texted her, I'm like, just find this place. She found a place. It was, it was great.
How many people did you boo?
One person. Yeah.
You
And
did.
it was like, I feel like it was almost a plant. I feel like almost looking back, I'm like, did they know who was going to get booed? Almost like American Idol. Like they know who they're showing.
They got to know. Yeah, I was going to say they have to.
But I think
do
there
it,
might have
right?
been one person that they thought was going to get booed and they snuck by because they started getting boos towards the end. And as I was saying to Monique, I'm like, wrap it up. I'm like,
Yeah.
you better get off stage because you're about to get booed off. And they squeaked by towards the end, and I didn't boo. Like, it wasn't unanimous. But the guy that got booed was almost like, as soon as he started singing, I'm like, oh, this guy's a plant. Like because it was like
obvious. Yeah.
because they give the signs, they give a boo sign or a
And that's
yas
a-
sign.
yeah.
The
right.
Apollo boo is one of the most intimidating boos there
can't even
is in
imagine.
the theater business.
I
Do they
almost-
do a ton of comedy shows there still?
So they have a comedy club at the Apollo, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's just like a name for it, or if there's
Okay.
if there's a different venue there, or if they just section out part of it, or if it's literally just the Apollo and they call it the comedy club. But there's a couple of big acts,
How
big
big
comedy
is
club.
when you're in there?
It's a perfect size venue. Is the
bigger
most,
than the Beacon?
No.
So
Way smaller than the Beacon.
And I love the Beacon that it's small too. I would probably love the Apollo.
It is the perfect size venue, like for anything, for music. But you're playing there, like bigger acts play there because they're like, well, because I want to play the Apollo. They're not playing there because they can't sell anything
Right.
bigger.
Oh yeah, they probably lose money. Not lose, but they're not making
Yeah,
anything.
I would
playing
rather
there.
pay twice the price and go say something at something.
That's a
something
credit.
The size of the Apollo. Yeah,
It's a credit. Like
do
this
you
guy's
mean?
been like.
Oh, is it still though? Like that's what I'm saying.
I think it's still.
Does it still
It's a
hold-
legendary place.
But
It's
got
still
cachet
hold-
for days.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're still keeping up with the cachet of like say the 90s or the 80s.
Yes,
when it was
it's just it's cemented in.
One thing that annoyed me is during the intro they were like they hype it up. The whole night is they're hyping up. You're at the Apollo Theater. It's like and they say like, whose first time is it? And like I wave my hands like, what took you so long? And I'm like, yeah, what took me so long? But they do this whole thing like about people that have been on that stage. When they start listening, it's like, holy shit! Like they name the people that have been on the stage.
Oh, that have
Michael
been there.
Jackson.
It's probably
When
every
did it?
huge.
It was
name,
in the
right?
80s. It opened.
No,
Or was it before that?
Wait, I mean, I don't know.
I think it's
but
been around-
Got to be.
Oh really? I don't know why I thought like it was
no,
more of
it's
like a
I mean, I want to say
50s or 20s
I
even.
probably. Yeah.
all right.
Well, because they said
1910.
they said like
Did
I
it
can't think
rival
of
the
his name.
Copa at all, or it's completely different type? I guess.
Different people will go into those.
Well, I know
clubs,
different
yeah.
people are going, but
Yeah.
the Copa wasn't even. They're not having comedy.
Yeah.
Right? I
So
guess they had some.
but they listed they're like James Brown, Ella Fitzgerald, Michael Jackson.
Oh,
and
right
they-
there
and
on
then-
its own.
And then the fourth name they said was Machine Gun Kelly.
What?
I almost waited for
What?
like a needle scratch. Like, what just happened? Like Machine Gun Kelly? I'm like, you don't need
And
to mention
MGK.
him at all.
That is
like,
bizarre to say
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
that was
I
also-
don't even care about him.
yeah. There's also like I know other names that have been here.
Yeah.
Like you could.
Could have said any of them.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. I'm like, are they doing this for the white people? Looking around, like, and for the white people, also Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah,
was
we
here.
had.
Very diverse crowd. People from all over. You could like hashtag when you're there. So there's like people from Germany, Paris, England.
Oh, really?
So people come to New York, and it's like, what's the list of things we got to see? We got to see Central Park. We got to go. We got to go to the Village. We got to go to a show to the Apollo. It's one of the things to do as a tourist.
See, that's why I wasn't sure if it still had that, like,
No, it was so cool, dude. You should definitely.
I would love
just
to
go
do
to the
that.
calendar and look for shows.
Yeah, I'm going to do that
It
now.
was
I
pretty
honestly,
cheap.
part of the reason why I never looked at it is because I didn't really think there was still like doing shit there.
Yeah, I bought tickets for the floor, the orchestra, because I figured if I'm going to go, like, but I think the better tickets might be in the balcony, which are actually a little bit
Because
cheaper.
you're a little above.
How much are
it's like-
tickets? How much tickets
I
run?
think it was like
30
55
bucks? Oh, 50,
bucks,
yeah, that's
but
not
then
bad.
up in the
That makes
balcony was
sense.
cheaper, so you can do. I think it's like 35 for the balcony.
And I would rather do what you did though. I mean, I would be cool to see a big.
Amateur night. I would
That's
like
what I'm
to
saying.
see.
So I saw-
Amateur night, seeing people and voting and having an interactive crowd is kind of that's what I want to go to the Apollo for.
I was disappointed. All singers. I was hoping for a comic to show up because I feel like comics are notorious to get booed off almost immediately at the Apollo. You got to be so good immediately at the Apollo to not get booed off. So I was a little, disappointed in no comics, all singers, but they do like a youth thing first, and you just cheer.
Oh, they did?
You just cheer for it.
Cheer
You
all
can't,
the
you can't boo
kids?
the kids.
Yeah.
Like they come out and they say like we don't boo the kids. Later,
Is that
you
a
boo.
thing? They never boo the kids, really?
Yeah, you don't boo the kids. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, I
Yeah,
get it.
but
I
they're
just-
older. They're like
I was
17,
gonna
18.
say, I
By the
just
way,
thought that place was ruthless. Like,
by the
no.
way, all the kids, there was 4 kids that 3 kids that sang, and you wouldn't boo them to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, I would pay to see this kid.
they probably make sure they're not going to put a
Yeah.
cheesy kid on there who might get booed.
So I was the first night of amateur night. So it's like they do a whole season of it, and then in November is the finals. So I want to, if there's still tickets available, I want to buy tickets for the finals. If you want to go to the finals,
I am
of this
in.
thing.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't
You
know. If that might sell out. Like,
No, yeah,
'cause
that's
the finals
fine. Yeah.
might sell out. Might have
he
already
won't
been
be
sold
able
out.
to do it, but I'm in.
Yeah,
You don't know
So
that.
Wednesday,
I'm free. I'm there.
Wednesday, every
Ooh,
Wednesday.
That's a good.
Wednesday's a
night.
good night for me.
Wednesday's a good night.
By the way, one of the things that I always loved was when they had like the dorky white guy come on and people weren't expecting anything
Yeah.
and he just crushed
Yeah, I
and
know.
people were like, whoa, fuck, what
Yeah.
the fuck? That was
And you
always
felt like one for you. Like,
it
yeah, that's
did-
it, one for us.
I hate to
Yeah.
say like, but I'm like, all right, he's representing for us.
Yeah.
I'm
it
not
was-
splitting,
I was like a little white kid. That was the coolest room in the country to me. Like, you
Oh,
couldn't tell me
yeah.
that wasn't the coolest place
Yeah.
to be in the world. Was at the Apollo.
Because there's just like, yeah, there's a different vibe there.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Def Comedy Jam did their shit there.
Yeah, they might have.
They might have.
No, but
They might have toured
I don't
around.
even mean like, I thought it was like, that was at the Apollo. Like,
It could have been. I have no idea.
I'm going to look into that.
You
'cause
listen.
And so there's no more Sandman. Now it's the Executioner. He comes out, same thing, tap dances, pulls you off stage.
Was the Sandman what is not good for today's day? Like, what's it?
So I think the problem is this. So I always thought that position was the Sandman, but I think that guy's name was the Sandman. He was almost like a clown, like an entertainer.
Yeah.
And that was like his
would, like,
entertainer.
sweep
That was like his
people off the
entertainer
stage,
name.
right?
Yeah,
so,
I remember
so I
that.
think he probably either retired or died or
that was
both.
one of those shows I wish I watched more than I did.
So I think that they just like were looking for a new entertainer, and this guy was like, he's the Executioner.
I don't
So-
like the name of the Executioner. I feel like
Cool,
it's
too.
been done before.
And the Sandman is like fun, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
All these shows
Classic.
now are just biting off of the Apollo anyway. I mean, think about
talent
every
shows?
talent show.
Yeah.
It's basically the Apollo,
Yeah.
but instead of having the crowd boo, I mean, there's crowd voting, they're not booing you because, you
Yeah,
can't
and
boo
it's-
anybody. It's just a professional.
To have
geeking
one judge be like, I didn't care for you, or this was like, people are like, oh, that's mean. But imagine having a
whole
room
crowd.
full of opinionated people be like, get the fuck off stage, you suck.
It probably it's like the worst feeling if you're terrible, and it's probably the most amazing feeling if you go in there and you crush.
Of course.
Oh,
yeah.
You
Gotta
gotta
be, yeah.
probably walk out of there. If you crush.
I would never would do this, but I kind of want to be like, submit a tape for like comedy and go do comedy at the amateur night at the
Don't
Apollo.
do that.
And
I don't
like-
wanna
and get-
see
and
that
like
happen.
get booed off, but like, I don't know.
So you did
Just,
it.
I was
to
on,
say
and by the
it.
way, I was on. So they do an intermission, and they like a DJ come out on stage, and you can go on stage and dance. We went on stage and danced on the stage. At the
Get
Apollo.
out of here,
really?
really?
You were
Like,
on the
like free
stage.
reign?
On stage, I took a picture from the stage. If, like most people didn't get it, it wasn't many people on stage. Like it filled the stage, but it wasn't like not everybody from the venue.
Imagine it was just you and Monique.
Yeah, we would have gone up. She wasn't into it, but I think enough people got up. She's like, all right, I'll go.
All
up.
right.
So I took a picture from the stage of like I'm on stage at the Apollo. It's
That's
nuts.
cool as hell.
Yeah.
Just to be able to get on there on the stage.
So like if they do an intermission. You could either go out stage and meet Capone and get an autograph and like buy a shirt from him, or you can go on stage, or you can just hang
I'm
out.
going on stage.
I would go on
Yeah,
stage.
it's so cool.
By the way,
Yeah.
you know what? I think would be a great podcast idea. Just interviewing guys that got booed off the stage at the Apollo,
Oh my
and like,
God,
let's
yeah.
hear your story. Like, what
Yeah.
got you on there? Did you really think you had it?
That would be so good.
And what did it feel like? I
Yeah.
would love to know like those stories.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this guy that got booed off was a plant, but
I'm
Even
sure
still.
that
They
would
probably
surprise
have
probably
to, because if they
knows-
don't have somebody who's going to get booed, they probably have people that are like,
people probably make bad submissions. So
but they got to go over every, like, they don't blindly put anybody on there. That
no,
they don't.
there's a live auditions, there's tapes
Okay.
auditions, so they know it's not.
Yeah, they
you're
have
not just
to,
going
right?
up not knowing
Yeah.
what they're doing on stage. Yeah, the band's got to play the song. You got to pick the band, tell the band what song
That's
you want to
also
play.
true, yeah.
Yeah, this guy came out like singing the song that like he wrote, and it was like he was just playing some song. I mean, Capone was a great host. He was hilarious, actually. He didn't do like a set. I was hoping he would do like a set beforehand. He just straight up hosted it.
He just knew what
He
he
was
was
great. But I
doing.
also wonder like how much of the stuff is repetition? Because how many times can you comment on
Yeah.
like somebody like it's like, oh, I was about to boo. The best though was when like only a couple people were booing and like everyone was like kind of into it. It was people were just quiet, but it was like one person at the end of my aisle. He was like, nah, boo, like you ain't it. And I was like,
And he was
the
all by
balls-
himself
The
with it?
balls on that guy, just
Oh my
like
God.
yeah.
I love it. You give a fan and random people some freedom to boo and whatever, you never know what you're going to get.
But I just love. I mean, it's just like the woman behind me, like the kids on stage, and just you better sing. And I was like, you better sing it. And I'm like, oh, this is the best.
Oh, that's
It
amazing.
was
That
so
that
cool.
sounds like a great
I would love
night.
to do that. I
Yeah,
saw him
I'll lend the
there
tickets.
and I was like, oh, I'm so jealous.
I'll look into tickets to the finals. If it's it, I'll buy 4 of them.
All right, I'm in. Be
Check with-
careful with him.
Huh?
What do you be
do it.
careful with
You're
him?
busy. I don't have shit lined up.
Well,
Okay.
I'll check
Well,
first.
the reason why we're recording on Thursday
I'm
is
gonna
because
buy
you had to
4
play baseball.
Baseball.
Listen, I stumble words constantly. I'm not. I'll buy 4 tickets. We'll find somebody to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Will
Yeah, if you
replace
can't
me?
go.
Come on.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
Jack Adam and Brent will bring his camera.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You gonna steal my guy?
So what, your show, Jack and Brendan.
Jack and
show,
Brendan. That's out
The
now.
golf was great. I thoroughly. Did you watch
I
it?
did watch it.
I
It
was
was
not
great.
on my
I
A
was
game.
very entertained by it.
I wasn't on my A game.
So
You guys have a good chemistry.
it's great. It's
Thanks.
funny. So I'm watching it going like, this is interesting because you're playing like a dumb guy. You're playing a character like you're a dumb guy, right?
I'm
Is that what a
playing-
lot of these are going to be?
Yeah, so
It
I'm
better be like that.
I'm basically playing a character where I am I'm not like it's sort of like a like Jack is the guy and I'm the lady trying to like get his attention.
Feels sexist, but okay.
Well, I'm putting
You're
it in
very
like
dumb.
Stop
in
doing
this.
these typical gender roles.
Yeah,
I'm
all
putting
of these
it-
are very dumb.
I'm putting it in a dating role. I'm not my mission is not to be dumb,
You're
but I'm
playing
coming
the
fr-
carefree, I don't really care, I'm just here to have fun, and he's the more serious one.
You were dumb because you said keep score, and you go, what is keeping score?
right.
It doesn't matter what you were trying to play. That's a dumb thing.
It
to
was
say.
dumb.
Yeah.
I'm
You go, is this real rock? That's a dumb thing to say.
I said it was shipped here from the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
All right, maybe, but I'm also I want love and friendship from Jack.
Sure,
and Jack
okay.
doesn't kind of want anything from me.
All right.
I'm looking more into this relationship than Jack is.
Yeah. And what does Jack want from you?
Nothing.
All right.
I don't know what Jack wants.
sidekick to do his things that
Yeah.
he wants to do.
Yeah. So the next one will be out. It's going to be. I thought it was every week. They'll
That's
be
a lot. That's a lot to produce.
No, they'll be released every 2 weeks. So the next one I thought was really fun. We did a movie night.
What movie?
You'll find out.
No, tell me what movie, because I'm going to be pissed.
Well, I'll tell you what movie I wanted to watch.
What movie did you go see?
It's a like a scripted show.
You can't just say the movie?
I don't even know, to be honest.
Oh, I thought you actually went to
No,
a movie.
it's not us watching a movie. It's not about.
Oh, I thought you actually went to a movie.
we
I'm
watch
sorry.
a movie. I think we watched like some kind of action movie. I don't know. I wanted to watch Pride and Prejudice though, so I'm the sensitive guy. In there.
Yeah. Yeah, the girl, the chick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now you made me feel bad. I meant like with dating, like
Yeah,
I want like Jack has a girlfriend. I don't like that. I want to be his whole life.
Okay.
It's
All
sort of
I'm
like
excited
that.
to see where it goes.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
it's fun.
They're gonna be fun. We're
Well, I hope
Yeah, I don't want to judge it too
it
soon because it's one. You know, it was one.
it's the one
scene,
for, and I
so-
thought I was very off my game on this one, so I'm glad it came out good.
It was great. I thought Jack was great. Yeah, I thought you were funny. I thought it was funny because like Jack was theoretically, typically the non-dumb guy. Like you would be the comedic role normally.
Jack's a straight man.
Jack's a straight man, but I feel like Jack has a lot of the comedy lines. Like a lot of his responses are a joke line. So he gets a lot of good like straight man jokes.
He does.
Yeah.
And when he threw my ball too into
That was great.
By the way, that ball landed right into the water.
Yeah.
Like I wish
Did he know
like we
that?
tried to get a video of it. I don't know if you see it,
Yeah, I
but
saw
like
it,
you
yeah.
can clearly
You can
see
see
my pink ball just
When,
I
what
didn't think he was
happened there?
gonna
Did you
do
get it out?
no.
So we
It's
just
just
Yeah,
I
those
was
balls,
done.
they don't care.
It took about four hours to film. It was a long
4 hours. To
4
film
hours.
It? Wow.
4 hours.
People on that golf course like, what the fuck
Was
are
that
these people
Heartland?
doing?
It was Heartland.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's at night.
Heartland.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and was anybody else there?
We had a few people play
Yeah,
through
play through.
us. Yeah. And
We're
then
filming something, go ahead.
and then if
We're filming.
this is another funny behind the scenes thing of this 6-minute video that took 4 hours to film. There's a moment where I'm like taking Polaroids. I don't know if you even
Yeah, I
caught
saw
that.
yeah.
But there's a couple that was like up on a
I
hill.
thought you were taking.
Totally freaked. I freaked them out like bad because the girl was like I think we freaked a few people out. They were like, "What are these people doing?"
Yeah.
Because we had the camera following us. But you know,
This day and age,
that's,
you gotta-
that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
People should expect that though. I feel like it's not that
Everybody's
crazy
online.
these
I
days.
know, but like with a camera phone,
I
fine. But
gotcha.
like with the video camera, it seemed like
I'm jealous of that camera, man. It looks
dude,
it looks great.
I think that's like a huge part of it. Like
Yeah.
we're trying to figure this out as it goes. Obviously, it's the first one we did.
I want to request it's a little more of an expense, but get lavalier attachments. So
What
you
are
have
those?
you have like the big lavalier clips
Yeah.
on your thing. So you can get a wire, and I'm sure Jack knows this, and I have one of them. I never use it. You plug it into that thing, and you can run it up your shirt. And it's a much smaller microphone. It's the same quality mic, but you can just clip it on your shirt. so
Did
it's
you
not, like,
notice
hanging
the
Is that the one I
yeah,
used
it's
the
when
not
I
mic?
did
hanging off
the,
your shirts. Yeah,
when we did the baseball?
yeah, that one you used. So it was
Yeah,
in your
that
pocket.
sounded great.
It was in your pocket. It ran up. It just
I was
clips up,
running-
and it's much less visible. Like
Okay.
you can put it on like your collar, and you almost can't see it, or even just
I
where
feel
you
like
had
he
it.
might have something like I don't know.
worth
These
it. To
these
me,
were
it's
the
worth it.
because I had
And
to
it
like
weighs it down. It's just like it's kind of annoying all night.
yeah.
So
and then,
that sits in your pocket, and then it's a much lighter microphone and much more.
interesting. All right. That's something to
Yeah.
definitely think. He might know that. I don't know.
He definitely knows that. Like I'm just to me, it's, and like I said, you can borrow mine to see if it's worth
See if it works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. Jack and Brendan, follow us on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
I
all
would
this
love to
stuff.
get. Every time I see something looks good and is fun, I'm like, I want to get involved. So,
Dude,
and
we'd love to have you involved in
well,
this stuff.
even I'm just meant like if I know you got a guy that shoots them, but if he can't make it one night, we need somebody to shoot it.
100%.
I would be happy.
even
to
just an extra
volunteer
set
my-
of like writing wise. Like we don't it's not it's
I can help.
It's loosely Ryan. I'm kidding.
No, it's fine.
It's like I said, it's loosely scripted and like of what we want to do, but it's a lot of like
That's great, which is why it takes 4 hours to shoot that.
yeah.
yeah.
So it's like, all right, that was funny. We'll stick with that, but
And then you can do like one pass on it, and then say like, oh, this was funny, but what if this happened earlier? Then you go back
yes, yeah.
and reshoot that. And, yeah, that's
So
great.
yeah, well, he did film us going through the entire thing at the end, and I was like so shot at that point, and nothing was used in it. But that's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm learning that like
You take shots that you just because you want them, and then you don't know if you're gonna
yeah,
use
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
And I like
listen, I
I
get it.
like that Jack is very much he's a perfectionist. He has an idea of what he wants.
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna. Like I said, this is all Jack. I'm just there, and I'll do
You guys-
what he wants.
Yeah, you guys play well
It's
with
fun.
each other, so it's good.
So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I saw like a little cut of the second one, and I think it'll be
Great. Yeah, I generally like started watching. I was excited to watch. Like I started watching.
A little
it, I was
dark
like,
though.
couldn't-
I want to warn you. The second one's dark because it's in my apartment, but it's movie night, so you know.
like literally like visually dark.
Visually, not like I murder him after.
Okay.
I was gonna say, oh, I like dark.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh.
Yeah, it made me want to go buy one of those cameras. To be honest with you.
The camera, dude.
Yeah.
It's
That's-
unbelievable.
I think that's
what-
my next big purchase.
Yeah.
Is one of those guys. Yeah. I have nothing to do with it. I just want it. Like I have no reason to buy that camera. Like Jack has a reason. I just like, oh, that looks sick. But I would like maybe just shooting my my bullshit.
We could start doing other stuff.
yeah.
By the way, speaking about my apartment, quickly, I thought this was kind of interesting. So you know how like my apartment, the walls are so thin. So for a while there was a guy living right next door to me, and I would hear this guy snore at night. Like I'd be watching television and I'd hear, like I'd hear it so loud. And his bedroom was right against my bathroom. So like I'm like a 2 a.m. pee guy. Like I pee at like 2, 3 in the morning every night. A new lady moved
I'm a
in.
2 a.m. pee guy.
I usually am. I'm pretty
That's a good
consistent.
That's a very specific guy.
That's a very
Yeah.
specific guy.
Chick's midway through some weird documentary at that hour.
Yeah.
I'm already 3 hours asleep and ready for my nighttime pee. So the other night I have a new lady that moved in next door. Doesn't stop talking on the phone. I don't. There's never a moment where she's not talking on the phone.
That's annoying.
She's
It's
very
a lot.
lonely.
So, but she's very sweet. I met her. But the other night,
What she have? What her panties look like? Maybe this is.
no, this is before she moved in
she
after
after
the
that?
panty thing. So the other night, I go in.
Forgot where the panties came from.
The other night, I go into the bathroom 2, 3 in the morning for my pee, and I hear her in her bedroom, which is right against my bathroom, and she's doing this sound that like the death gurgle. Have you heard about the death gurgle?
Yeah, right before you
Right
die.
before you die, it's like like they're almost
doesn't always happen, but yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
It's not a gurgle. It's like a death breath. It's like the last breath.
I think they call it a gurgle.
Do they?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I think so.
Gurgle
I
to
could be
me.
wrong too.
If what you're doing is accurate, that sounds like a gurgle.
It's
to
a
me.
gurgle, right?
Yeah.
So I,
Everybody dies like they're on a movie.
so
It's not, to me, and by the way, like maybe this is telling of who we are as personalities, but I'm like, oh, that's a lucky guy in there getting some
no,
action in there. No,
No.
different sound. Yeah,
it was actually I think they call it a death rattle.
That's what it is.
It's not a gurgle, it's a rattle.
I think
I
it is
feel
a
like
rattle.
death rattle is more of a scream though. Like
No, but I think I've heard that. It's like the
I've heard the
last.
death rattle.
no,
before
death
you-
rattle is a term, but I feel like death rattle is different than what you're describing.
Yeah, well, mine was more of a gurgle. But anyway, so it's I'm half asleep. I pee with this sitting down so I
That's
don't
just- I
make a
can't
mess.
even.
Only at night or always?
Most times, unfortunately, it's just easy.
So I'm just asking.
A death rattle is a rattling sound in the throat that occurs when a person is near death.
Death rattle.
You know what's sad?
That's
Chick's
gurgle.
been making a death rattle noise for a long time.
Years now.
So I go in there and I hear this death rattle. So as I'm leaving, I'm like, what the hell? I go to stick my head up against the wall, but since the lights are out, I slam my head against the wall. And then I heard her wake up.
Oh,
So-
so snoring.
Dude, so she was like snoring, I
She's on
guess,
a
in a
wet
weird
dream.
way. And then I'm just like, boom, trying to spy on me. And I hear her go, oh.
There you go. Sorry about that.
And then I'm like standing in my bathroom because I'm like, you could hear people walk. Like I hear her walk. It seems like it's like I'm living with a roommate. So like I'm like, oh, I want her to like think she just woke. You know when you sometimes you wake up from a dream?
Yeah.
I didn't want her to think that like I just knocked on the
Yeah,
door
yeah.
on the so I like waited like 5 minutes in the bathroom with the lights off until I thought she was asleep and tiptoed
God.
back to
You are the
bed.
weirdest
That's crazy.
individual ever.
Well, I
I
have
understand.
respect.
I might do something like that, but yeah, it is, I would also be like, as I'm doing it, I'm crazy. Yeah.
Well, I knew it was crazy. I wouldn't have brought it up here if I didn't think it was crazy,
Yeah.
but it was just very funny when you just like I'm trying to be quiet listening and bang with my big dumb head against the wall.
That's hilarious. So there's gonna be a lot of fun stories with this woman potentially, but
Maybe.
I hope she should maybe like slip like a sleep apnea.
Slip a pair of your underwear in the hard door.
Can I borrow your sleep apnea mask? I know you don't use it anymore, right?
I do. I've been using it actually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm about to see if I can get? That's a new thing I've been seeing all on social media. The mouthpiece that's supposed to be better than the sleep apnea
Yeah.
machines.
What is it? I
It's
don't know.
apparently because they're trying to say this thing is trying to say that sleep apnea is not cause. It's a thing in your jaw,
Yeah.
and the mouthpiece is supposed to adjust your jaw
Draw.
Your jaw. Because I was sitting there trying
We're
to
all
talk like I had
mumble-mouth.
We are.
We get excited. It's because we have good conversation. We get excited to say the next
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You
exactly.
can't talk fast like that.
Dude, I do that so much on stage. I notice because I'm like excited about what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
And I sound like I sound like a mumble mouth idiot.
I
But
do it
go
for
on.
two reasons. I do it because I get excited sometimes, and also it can be a lack of confidence things. It's like I don't want
That's
to I don't
true.
want to take up time, so like let me just say this thing real quick, and then I'll be done, and then you guys can go.
I forget words
Yeah.
that I'm going to use all the time. I'm just a
You forget
mumbling
sentences
idiot.
you're gonna use.
All right, so you got this thing. So
But apparently, it brings your bottom jaw, I guess, out. It's
That makes
supposed
sense.
to
Yeah,
move it out,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the breathing is
okay, so what do you have to do? You have to
straighter
go to you have to get another test for that.
I
or you
don't know
just-
if that's what I'm looking at. I just saw it literally this week, and I was like, I got to look
Yeah.
into this thing.
Nice.
So,
That sounds good.
and it's better than having to put a mask on,
Right, yeah.
just a little mouthpiece.
I got an idea for you and I to do. So you're a big movie guy. Do you like Oscar movies?
I'll watch
Like-
anything, yeah.
Oh, well, it's Oscar season coming out. Why don't we do
Oh,
like
that's right. Watch all the Oscars.
Why don't we do
I could
like
do that.
you
No,
got,
you
you're too
can't.
busy, you're busy
Yes,
with
I
Jack.
can.
Hey, you were just telling me you can't watch more than an hour a day.
For this, I can. Go. All right, go on. If you don't
So
want
we
to
should
include
do-
me, you don't
we
include me.
should
Go
do
on.
we should go watch all the movies and review them afterwards, and then
I'm 100% down.
yeah.
I'll watch every single one of them.
You know what?
It's a
I'll watch them by
task
myself.
to hunt them down.
Yeah, you got.
Sometimes you got to go find like
I have a lot of streaming services, which would be good for us.
a lot of
that could
streaming
help us.
services. I have Fire Stick that has some
that's good.
you know
Are any
compromised.
still in theaters?
Well, they bring them back out in theaters a lot.
That's what I was saying. Don't they
like
usually-
this is it's Oscar season, so a lot of the movies that are getting released now are like they know what they're
Yeah.
releasing, and then they'll like a lot of re-releases. They put them on streaming services now, but the theater in Huntington, the Cinema Arts.
Oh
Theater,
yeah, okay. I know what
They
you're talking
play.
about.
They play like
Do
a
they
lot
really?
of.
I didn't know they
yeah,
did that.
Oscar season, they play a lot of.
I did not know that.
Those things.
Oh
yeah.
wow, I'm
They'll-
totally
They'll
down.
rerun a lot of those things.
I didn't do it last year, and I'd love to get back into doing it.
Yeah, so we do a little.
Usually, I watch
Post-
all of them.
I just like
post-watch
to be
review.
invited. But hey, listen.
No, you could be invited. I just you
You
know
don't-
you're not going to watch the movies. You don't watch TV.
No. I watch movies for something. I'm not somebody that.
You know how many movies this is going to be? Probably
a lot
at
of
least
movies.
30.
Oh no, it's more than that.
Yeah.
More
What?
than
I
that.
thought it was only 6.
No, he's
That's-
not talking about the best picture. He's saying all
it's,
the
first of all,
Oscar
it's 10
movies.
best pictures nominations, but then you got to watch all the movies. Anybody movie that had best actress in it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
for crying out loud! What
Best-
do you?
best
How much
documentaries.
time do you people have?
That's why I,
did it
just
last
said
year. I
you're
did it
not
last year. I
going to
did
do it.
best animation movies,
could
best
watch 3 in a
documentaries, best shorts, best documentary short, best animated short,
I'd be
best
interested.
best director, best cinematography, best wardrobe,
Who gives a shit about
best sound.
wardrobe?
I had to watch movies that were nominated for best sound.
You've done
only.
this
Yeah,
in the
last
past?
year I watched every single
like
if any movie
Did
that
you
was
get? What'd
mentioned.
you get
during-
out of it?
I watched a lot of great
Watched
movies.
a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them are
That's
you
all
wouldn't
you
think
had
to watch.
And like I watched movies I wouldn't have normally watched. Like I had to watch some superhero movies I would have never watched. But like you're listening for the sound almost. Like if this is nominated for Top Gun. I never would have watched it, but I'm like, all right, this is nominated for
I
best.
saw that in theaters.
It's nominated for best sound.
That's
So like I
plain
watched it.
Sound shit was awesome.
Yeah, and it's I'm like, all right, yeah, I could see why this would win.
What was your favorite movie last year?
We did this.
Triangle of Sadness, or Close, which was a
This is the triangle of sadness.
that should be the name of this podcast. The Triangle of Sadness. Oh my God, can we rename the podcast?
That was, I could, yeah, the triangle of sadness.
all right.
But
Serious
like,
question.
So when he was like, I was getting worried that he was gonna can't leave the podcast because of his
Yeah,
depression.
Believe me.
But then in my
Oh,
head,
I'm
I'm like,
not
if he
going anywhere.
ever leaves and we start doing a podcast, we have to name it Brendan Ryan Brooke,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
that's-
Brendan Ryan, bro.
Yeah, and then
Ryan
for sure it's BRB, and then like with the BRB, like
Yeah.
all right, we'll
Be right back.
And then at the end of our sign off, it's like, all right, we'll BRB.
I love it. By the way,
Should
I think
I
we should
just
do
quit?
it. See you later. One more movie question. This is a serious one. Who is the best wardrobe?
Well, there was a movie last year called I don't remember the name of it, but the whole idea of it was this woman. It was like a maid who fell in love with a Christian Dior dress, and it was her trip to Paris. And then she spent whole like years saving up for money for this Christian Dior dress, and then it was like her trying to buy it, and then spending a week in Paris while they fitted her for it. So like the dresses that were in it were pretty great.
Were you moved by the dresses?
I love that movie actually. Yeah, Emily in
Paris?
No, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Emily in Paris. No, it wasn't Emily in Paris, but that's what I got confused
Oh, I
with.
thought
He
you were
just
talking about her
says
name.
blunt.
I thought he was talking about Emily Blunt.
No.
Isn't she an actress?
She sure is.
I remember that, but that was my favorite wardrobe. Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
I would.
I need
would.
something, a reason to watch things because I'm running out of things and reasons to watch.
And then it's fun to watch a movie for a specific purpose. Like you
Yeah,
can say, like,
'cause
I
then
might
you're
not,
looking
I'm
at
not like necessarily like, yeah, maybe this isn't a great movie, but yeah, I can see why this wardrobe is great, why the sound is great.
I would be interested in trying this. I don't know how far I'd get, but I'd like to try it.
If
Also-
you want, you could almost narrow it down to your favorite awards and then pick those.
Yeah, you can do Best Picture and,
just do
just
like a
join
couple of
join us for
different
Best
awards,
Picture.
watch all the movies.
I
in
mean,
those
Jesus
awards.
Christ, I'm not a. I could watch movies.
I mean, not all of them are long. You get like a lot of them are going to be short films, documentaries. Not a lot.
It
but
feels
there's gonna be
like
a handful of
it
those.
feels to me as it would be an accomplishment, like climbing Everest, for me to watch all these movies.
Yeah, and I did it last year, and then at the end I go, okay, am I going to do this again? Will I ever do this again? Am I going to do this every year? But it makes watching the Oscars a lot more fun. Like, I'm not somebody who like watches
I'm
award shows.
usually wait for the Oscars to be over and then I'll look and see who won.
One, yeah, but
All right, so
watching
here's
that
the
is like
thing.
more interesting when you.
If we're gonna do this, or if you guys are gonna do this, and I'll try to do this,
We need to have an Oscar night.
we need to have an Oscar show.
Yeah, we'll do like a
Like,
live.
we
a
have to
live,
do-
We could do a live viewing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put
That
the
could
Oscar
be
on.
fun.
Yeah,
We should do that.
and even if you don't end up watching it, like both of us will be
We'll have
well versed.
enough of it.
Even if it's like between the three of us, we watch all the movies.
But it'll
It's good
give
enough.
me enough. Like that makes me want to. When is the Oscars, by the way?
Isn't it usually in? I thought it was in January.
No, February, I think maybe.
February.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's usually right after the Super Bowl.
Sign me
Yeah.
up, babes.
It's usually like the Sunday either before or after the Super
I'm
Bowl.
interested.
All right.
I
I don't believe that you'll watch. I think you'll watch some.
No. Because you're confused. Because I don't go home like you and watch 3 movies. I can't do that. I'd rather watch an hour of a series.
And I know, but you said you can't do it. So you said I don't.
No.
like, these movies you're gonna have to start and stop and watch. You know.
No.
Finish.
Because it's the one thing I'll watch that night.
Okay.
You don't understand.
I hope you can, but I'm just going off of what you've told me.
I could do it. I could do it.
I could do
By
it.
the way, I told you I want to take you out to Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a 3.5 hour movie.
I
I,
can't
and that's gonna
wait
be
to
that's
see
gonna be
that movie.
nominated. So
It's
you
gonna
might,
be nominated
you
for
get,
best movie,
You get
probably
that.
best director.
might
Get
want to
that
see
in.
it Monday during the day. if
and
anybody's around.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. I'm not.
Oh,
Really
yeah,
interested
you're right.
in
I
it, but
probably
I
should
think
watch
I'm
that.
gonna watch
That
it.
is
That's what I.
definitely
That's
gonna
what.
be
That's what I did
nominated.
last year. Is I got to jump on the before the nominations. I
already
watched a lot
watched
of
a
movies
bunch?
that you feel like we're going to be nominated.
There's probably some that I've already watched, but
Yeah, I've slacked. I started this year. First 3 or 4 months, I watched a movie every day.
we should do that one year with the AVN awards too.
By the way, that'll get more views if we did that.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that if you've never watched one, watch some
haven't.
of the AVN.
I have never
They're actually
watched it.
kind
Are
of
they?
empty.
Are they?
It's on
They're-
Showtime. It's just it's entertaining, and they have celebrities on. Like it's
Yeah.
not it's
Didn't
a big deal.
Attell used to like host it?
Norton.
They usually have a pretty
Norton.
good comic host.
Norton.
hosted a couple times. Yeah.
It actually is very entertaining.
By the way, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. But I totally forgot a couple weeks ago to congratulate you on your on your you were mentioned on the Jim and Sam show. Through
Oh
Neil.
yeah, I got a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of
Yeah.
here, really?
You didn't
Neil was
listen to
on
that?
it.
Not
Neil,
yet. I
Neil-
don't listen to podcasts. I have trouble.
It's not a podcast; it's a radio show. So
I posted a link. I have it in Dropbox, so you can download it.
Oh,
And
all
listen
right,
whenever
yeah.
you want.
I
I'll
thought
definitely
it was
give a
great.
listen.
He,
Did he
so I
mention
listen, I
us?
listen to that show every
No.
day. No, he's got his career to worry about. He can't be
Yeah.
bringing up adult babies on
He
his
should.
on a
You
national. on a,
don't bring up adult babies on a national radio show.
Should.
Yeah.
so I've
the
listened to
people
that
who
show since its inception. Well, since Jim and Sam.
Me too, for the
I
most
listened
part.
to Opie and Anthony, and I didn't listen to it. It was just Opie and Jim. And then I listened again, and I've listened to every guest that's been on there, and I legitimately think he had the best first appearance than anybody that's ever been on that show. Like, and maybe I can't judge because I know the guy, but like,
Dude,
he came
I
in with, like,
couldn't
interest-
agree
he-
more.
He came in with interesting stories. He didn't talk about like his boring, like so many people talk about like the what's going on with them comedic wise. Like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to work on my act. Like he came in with legitimate, antidotes or anecdotes. Which one is it?
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes.
Ah,
I'm
God,
too
now
stupid.
I'm
too
I didn't
stupid
want.
to
I'm
talk.
not chiming in on that. Notice I'm staying.
Not the one that you need if you get sick
Yeah.
or like. So yeah, legitimately, I thought he was great. And then at the end,
He had great
so
antibodies.
I had texted him
Got
earlier
great
in the show,
orgasms.
and yeah, so I got a shout out. Which, by the
awesome.
way, was like I posted years ago. I'm like my most realistic comedy goal now is just to be mentioned on a show of somebody who used to do comedy that was pretty funny. Like, and I'm like, all right, I got a name mentioned. You know, it wasn't.
Dude,
about being funny.
I was excited to hear your name, and
Did he mention you?
no, there's not
I'm just
much.
asking.
There's not time for mentioning.
There was a reason to bring up my name. Like he was, like
because Ryan listens all the time. I listen as much as I can as well.
Yeah.
But you didn't get mentioned.
Well, I don't.
I texted him
Not
something
like
that
him.
like had happened before
I'm just
before he
busting
came on,
chops.
and he just referenced that. He's like, "Oh, my buddy Ryan texted me that that something whatever." So
But it was so he was just so good on it.
great.
And I told everybody that I know, I'm like, listen, if you have Sirius, just download this episode. Neil's
I have the Dropbox file.
I
Like
thought he
said,
was fantastic.
I recorded it.
Interesting.
I saved this. I can send you the link.
Yeah, send me it.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this because he's my friend. I think they're dumb if they don't have him back on.
I think they'll definitely have him back on. It made me realize how bad we are at this because I
Yep.
was like, wow, he's so much better on here than like we bring out we bring out the
But
worst.
do you
in
think
Neil.
it's because he comes on here with no?
No, and I'm kidding. I think he's great on here.
No,
too.
no,
Like,
no. But what
yeah.
I'm saying, do you think he also comes on here as more of there's no like
Yeah.
you're going on that show, almost like you're going on
He
stage.
came. I feel like Neil came with his A game.
Yeah,
there.
he came swinging.
and he was
Yeah.
ready. Like he was not gonna let anybody stop him.
Yeah.
He went up there and he fucking told great stories, interesting stories. I wanted to hear more.
Yeah.
I can't say enough.
Yeah, he comes on here as a friend and just hanging out.
yeah,
There he
but
was
I'm
like,
saying that for
Dude,
any
I-
comic, that's a it's almost like
Huge.
you're going on stage.
I was so proud of him. You know,
I felt
it
the
was
same
just
way. Yeah, it was beaming.
it was that was a
legitimately-
good day, man.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll talk. He'll be on next week, so I'm sure we'll talk about him, and I'm sure he'll be like, yeah, whatever.
I don't want to talk
Yeah, it
about
doesn't
it.
matter. It's not doing anything for my career.
But as a fan of his and
It
a
was
friend,
fun, but
it was awesome.
whatever.
It was
Doesn't matter.
awesome.
Nothing-
and-
Now
matter.
what?
Nothing matters. Doesn't matter.
Nothing matters.
kills me. Guy kills me. But God, it was
All right.
so great.
Yeah,
So-
well,
I have one thing that I want to.
Okay.
I just have, I have a
I
pick.
can go. I went. I took an entire week trip to New England.
We
and
never even got-
We haven't even talked.
Dude,
I took 2 train rides, a fall foliage trip. We didn't even
Jesus
mention that.
we
'Cause we
started
talked
off
about
asking
nonsense.
about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
God, we're the worst.
That's fine. We can.
Well, one of the things I could hold for next week.
I had stuff too. I was attacked by a dog this week.
I learned
See,
a new
it's-
thing
it's-
on social media.
What'd you learn?
Did you ever see anybody use the word unalive?
No, I don't think so.
Like, so I saw it in a comment section on a post, and I had to Google it because it got a ton of likes, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the best comment." So I guess you can't say certain words, and you get flagged, like kill and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a,
Yeah. Okay.
somebody wrote. They meant to say what they wanted to say was this is killer. This person's a killer, not like an actual. It was like a
Yeah.
com, whatever.
Yeah.
And they wrote this is like an unaliver or something
Yeah.
like that, and it got like so many hits to where I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah.
And I actually Googled it and I looked at
I
its
mean-
slang, and it's a way that people could say kill.
Yeah. I feel like
on-
you couldn't just put that through with context. You couldn't just put that together because I feel like you said as soon as you said
Because
unalive,
I-
I knew exactly what you were like.
When
okay.
I saw what it meant, I was like, "How did I not put that together?"
Yeah.
But when I read the comments after all of them, I didn't put it. Didn't.
I feel like maybe I've heard somebody say like,
sounds a
he
little
got unalived.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've heard it in that
Yeah,
context.
and
Yeah.
like I thought, you know what? I almost looked at it. I was like, it is what it is. Like it means what it
Yeah, yeah,
means.
yeah.
But I didn't like. I was like, maybe I'm missing. Like I don't want to be the idiot who's out missing the joke completely. So I was like, I got to look at this, and I was like, oh shit. And now
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to see it everywhere.
Yeah,
in
it's good.
comments.
Yeah, you probably
Yes.
will.
Yeah.
But I had one in light of Halloween. I wanted to make a pick of something, and we want to do the haunted houses. So I came prepared for this. Not prepared. I just knew I was picking this. Monster Inside. Have you ever heard of McCamey Manor?
No.
McCamey.
I don't think so.
So it's a famous haunted house. Well, not even a haunted house. It's a guy who would do it. These haunts where you
I
basically
hate that they call them haunts.
well, it's because it's a haunted
So
house and
dumb.
you scare someone. It's called a haunt,
So
and they're
dumb.
specific to people, so they whatever. I didn't make the fucking name up.
Yeah, but you've said it 8 times to me already.
Because
today.
that's what the
All
fucking
right,
term
finish
is.
the damn haunt. Talk about
And the guy
haunt.
basically tortures these people. I've talked about it on here before because there's other documentaries I've seen, but they got a new one on Hulu about how this guy really is a piece of shit. At first, I thought most of the people who signed up for it knew exactly what they were getting into, and it turns out like they do, but he takes things even further than you see or think, and the guy's like a real piece of shit. But it's called America's Most Extreme Haunted House.
Yes,
it's
I
on
have heard
Hulu.
about this. Yeah.
I'm kind of
Watch it.
interested in this.
If,
Yeah.
So
even if you don't like haunted houses or
Yeah.
anything, it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
And to see what these people want to do
For their haunts. Yeah.
for their haunts, people are fucking nuts that they even want to go through this.
People are
stuff.
idiots.
Like I was telling him, I enjoy being scared. A good haunted house. I don't need anybody touching me though, and like interactive, unless it's like water in the face, like spritz. Not like I don't want a bottle thrown at me. But you know when you go through like a mist machine or something.
Doesn't want to eat a cookie from somebody random, but
Yeah.
he'll have liquid thrown in his face.
By the way, he tells me that this guy goes so deep into your past. Like he looks at the
Not
stuff.
that but you answer a question, so he knows things that you're scared of. So this one girl brought up that she was scared of tarantulas, like specifically tarantulas, and this guy's why he's got her like tied down because they tie you like you know it's basically you get waterboarded and shit.
Wow.
And like people like this shit, but he's like even more to the extreme. I don't
I'm
know
scared
why
of
they
pussy.
do. Yeah, but this
Oh
guy had-
no! Oh no!
One, they're like, you're not supposed to handle tarantulas like this, and this guy's just
Why
got
would you tell them? Like I wouldn't be like.
No, he didn't tell them that, but it's like
I don't like
I think it was
walnuts.
known that like tarantulas don't like to be handled, and this guy's like playing with it,
But
and then
why-
like puts it on her.
Why, as a paying customer, I know you want your
These
haunt,
people are really trying to get scared. I don't know,
but
why.
like if I'm terrified of tarantulas, I'm not gonna point it out to this lunatic.
people also try because there's other live.
I
Like,
can't- I
in
just don't get
haunted
it.
houses where people have these like it's a little more hands on, but there's like a safe word, and guys stop, and it's not really torture. It's just they scare you, and then they'll stop.
What would your haunt be? The one that you don't want to see,
What do you mean?
like the one.
what
What's the one?
scares me the
Yeah,
most?
what would scare you?
Snakes,
Work?
probably. If you put me in a
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, they put me in. They give me a list of activities
Give me a punch card,
they give me they give me
time,
a
a
bunch
time
of
card,
task
and
card,
a tie.
a time card or a task to do. No, but probably snakes. If they put me in anything with snakes, I'd lose my
A
shit.
deadline and some snakes, and he's fucking done.
What about you? What would be your thing?
Nuts.
Nuts?
No, come on.
Weirdly enough, frogs.
Frogs.
Don't like
Really?
amphibians, man. Nah.
I don't like spiders and shit, but like
Don't like
snakes,
frogs.
I don't trust them.
Wow.
Nothing about snakes.
Snakes.
I like.
Snakes. I don't like. I wouldn't be happy
So
to see if.
did you ever see Magnolia? Is
What?
that a horror movie to you? Magnolia?
I've never seen it.
Oh,
It's about
okay.
frogs.
Not really, but at the end it is.
Frog.
Here's my thing. All right, I don't like snakes, but they slither, right?
Yeah, you've mentioned
I
that
can get
before.
away.
You don't, yeah, because I remember you making that same hand movement once before. So
Here's
I
the
know-
thing, though. Frogs bounce. I don't.
Frogs.
They don't bounce. They jump.
Bumble
Well-
bounce. Bumble
they
bounce
hop.
too.
Who?
Bumble bounce too.
Bumbles?
Forget it.
I don't like things that can bounce.
Yeah,
at
it's
me.
a
Crickets.
little- yeah.
Anything that jumps. Rabbits.
Unpredictable.
Yeah.
I don't a quick jump. Like anything that could jump so quick and fast that I don't see where it's going. It's on me. Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that. But snakes absolutely freak me out.
Yeah. What about you?
Like if they put me in a bed of snakes, I'd lose my shit.
Cotton.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Cotton from medicine is pretty.
You mean like
I don't
Cotton
like the
puffs?
touch of cotton. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of like cotton being
like real
squeezed.
cotton balls.
I don't
you're
like to
talking
touch cotton.
I could.
I see it.
You want to know
I
one of
see
the
it.
things
I
that I
see it.
actually was thinking to myself the other day that bothered me so much? One of like my pet peeves. I don't know if you got. I have dry elbows, which is weird, but I have dry elbows.
I've noticed that about
Have you
him. It's
ever?
pretty gross.
There's certain material shirts that when I take my arms out of it, you almost get like a static. It almost
Oh,
feels
no.
like a static, but it's like just a weird, like I don't know. It's like a scratchy rub. It's one of the. It annoys me so much. I hate it.
You got to lotion up, man.
I lotion
Yeah.
my shoulder, my
No, you don't.
my elbows more than
What are you
anything
using?
else. The good one too, the CeraVe or whatever. I don't know. It's
I'm a Lubriderm man myself.
Lubriderm's
I'll
great.
take a picture of the bottle.
All right. You're not doing enough. I don't know what's up there.
I want to say earlier, and this is just because I we talk about Halloween. I feel like I was out of Halloween. As soon as I was old enough to buy my own candy, I didn't give a fuck about Halloween. Like I loved Halloween because I was like, oh my god, the people give you free
That's the
candy.
only time you're getting candy.
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, once I started making money, I could just go buy my own candy. And then when I was given that candy, like I used to buy the full bars and just hope that nobody showed up because I'm like, don't take my candy. and I was
You would love my house.
I was a full grown adult.
In 30 years at my house, probably we've maybe given out, I don't know, 50 pieces of candy.
Really?
He's in a court.
I'm in a court
Ah, nobody
that's
wants to.
close to the main street, right?
Oh.
So we're like the end. Like no
But you
one.
always have it though. You always buy the candy.
Oh, my mother loved because she can't wait to have people, but then it sucks because it's just me and my father.
I'll come
eating,
by this
like-
year.
Yeah, I'll give you. I'll
We
bring you a bunch
should
of candy.
stop by, make Miss Chick
Well, now
happy.
we have some kids in the area, so we'll get like my immediate neighbors and my nephews.
Yeah, this was always. I have people like would drive to this neighborhood to trick or treat in this neighborhood.
Why it's a good neighborhood.
Yeah, just a lot of
Do
small
you get
houses.
a lot? Well, you don't get to deal with it because I don't come to the back, so you're.
Yeah, but when I was
right?
when I was upstairs, I would But
Did you like doing it?
Yeah, it's fun.
I get
her. She
yelled-
loved Halloween. Her birthday is
I'll never
Halloween, so
forget
she
this.
loved. She was like she would dress up to hand out
Oh,
candy.
that's great.
Yeah.
So this is a great story. When I lived I lived with a few of my friends, and we had an apartment. We had a house, and you got a lot of trick or treaters, and we got a shit ton of fucking candy. But all my friends were like you. Like I hope one, we're all old enough at this time that we could have just bought a bowl of candy
Yeah.
if you really wanted to. But you do it for the trick or treaters, and then you kind of hope that you don't have any,
Yeah.
so you can keep it. And I'll never forget, my friends got so mad at me because I don't care about candy like that. So we were at the end of the night, and it was like probably the last kids that we were going to see. We might not have, but I didn't care anyway. I'm like, this is basically it for the night. So I just put out the bowl and I go, take what you guys want.
Oh.
And these kids took everything out of the bowl. I left it empty. And I didn't care. Like, that was kind of my
What a
goal. Like,
dick
let's just
move.
get rid of it. Give it to the kids. One, it's for kids, not for fucking, 20-year-old kid, like assholes.
Yeah, you're right, but
So
if
I
you would have
bring the
given them
bowl
like
back
a
up.
few bars each, it would have been stoked, and then also everybody could have got what they want.
Oh, yeah. But these kids just fucking, but once you give them the go, I couldn't have taken back. Like,
Right.
it was just, bah, 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 bah,
I have.
bowl was empty.
I used to have full size bars, and kids be like, "How many can I take?" And I go, "How many?" I'm like, "It's a full size bar.
Yeah.
Take one and keep it moving." How many can I take? What more do you want from me?
Oh, that's great. And I'll never forget, I brought it in there, and my friends were so pissed at me. You let everybody, what happens if we get more trick-or-treaters? We wanted some.
Well, what time of night was this?
It was like the night, it was night.
It was over?
It was over.
Did you get any more trick-or-treaters? And
No,
be honest.
I think we might have had maybe one bell, but not even.
See, I know Chick. He probably did it a little too early.
No, it wasn't. They wanted the candy. So the
course
next
they
day,
did.
I was just like, you know what? You guys are a bunch of fucking babies. I went to the store. I bought a bunch of candy, and I just filled it up for my fucking friends. But I'll never forget how mad they got at me because I was just like, take them. And
have it
these
then.
kids wiped out the
Yeah.
bowl. They were all like, what the fuck, bro? Why did you let them do that? I go, then you do it. Then you fucking go out and feed the kids.
I've never fed the kids. I've never done the trick or treat thing.
Never?
In fact,
Not once?
In fact, I've hid from kids, and I don't feel good about that
Wow.
because I don't know what to say.
You have a niece who you're great with, and you
Yeah.
don't know how to open a door and be like, oh, you look good.
well, this is before my niece, and
But even still, you weren't like you
No,
grew up
no,
in a
no.
normal family. Like the kids try to enjoy.
I think I have
themselves.
some weird social things, and I just I would sort of see the kids coming. I would hear like bum, 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 coming up the steps, and I'd be like and I wouldn't do it. And
I'm a big fan.
I feel
of the
bad
kids.
about
I
that.
hate.
I love
Parents.
kids
I
too,
love
but
the
you know.
kids. I'll entertain kids, hang out. I enjoy kids. It's just their parents that I hate. And when the kids are assholes, I still blame the parents.
Yeah,
What time is it?
it's late. Yeah, we're an hour and a half in.
All right, let's
That's
wrap
a
this
sign of a
up.
good one. I still
know
got
what?
stuff I want to talk about the egg sandwich reviews.
We have so much.
There's so much to talk about.
We gotta
can't
make
skip-
sure we can't have
skip
another
weeks
hiatus.
anymore.
We can't skip
I know.
weeks.
We have a
But
Next
lot.
week's
so-
episode, we're gonna have everything that we didn't talk about this week. Let's just hope we have a boring weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a wedding coming up. I got
there's so much.
I got a lot of stuff coming up.
No,
so.
I had a lot of stuff I didn't
write it down
get
so we
to
don't
as
forget,
well.
'cause we'll get
They're
it,
all on my phone.
And
They're
I
all on
even
my phone.
had some stuff that I wanted to
we'll
get into
double up
because I was
next week,
finally going
maybe.
to talk about why my job and stuff.
Yeah, no, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
you got a job on the horizon.
I got and a lot of people didn't know that I got fired. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I
Yeah.
I toured New England looking for the best whoopie pie. Didn't find
Is
it.
that what the purpose was?
No, I was looking for
Oh.
the fall foliage. You know, I wanted to
Okay.
take photos of fall foliage, but also while I'm there, I wanted a good lobster roll and a good whoopie pie, which is
What's
you
a
know,
whoopie pie, by the way?
It's
I know a whoopie
It's like
cushion.
a chocolate cake. It's like a devil dog, but like a well-made devil. It's like a round devil dog.
Like
cream and
chocolate
cream,
mousse
cream in
it,
the
right?
middle.
A cream.
Ooh.
Cream in the middle. 2 chocolate cakes, and it's just
I'm not a big fan of them, but I've heard of them.
All right.
I'm going to Massachusetts in the first week in November.
I don't know if I mean Maine is like the big whoopie pie place, but I don't know if they do it. All where in New England else they do.
I'm
it,
excited to go back to Mass.
but yeah, it's
Nice.
fun. Well, okay. Take notes.
All right. Well, we're gonna
It's been
take
great
notes.
talking to
We'll
you
get
guys.
back. We'll be back next week. We're sorry we missed
bunch
last
of
week.
bacon, egg, and cheese reviews coming soon.
Yeah. We'll figure out what we're going.
Yeah, you guys
do
are
with those.
you're great. Yours are so funny. I truly enjoy watching yours, so I can't wait for people to watch them.
They're fun. They're fun.
And
Bees?
yeah, both yours.
Oh,
I mean,
I thought
B's
they're all
done more.
great.
B's done more, and he adds some spice to it. He adds some language to it that I really appreciate.
That's why I love his. Yeah,
I'm adding a little.
They're great, man. They really.
I
truly
try
make
to
me
add a little
laugh.
zest.
Me and Monique sat and we watched every one of them when they came through.
I need to
Like,
do
she-
more. I can't afford a lot of egg sandwiches. I almost did a review of my mother's egg sandwich this morning.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's.
Do you think
fun.
that would be funny if I did
Yeah,
a Chick
do it,
Fil-A family?
dude.
All right.
We don't need to stay in between
Yeah,
the
we,
lines. here.
it's sort of like, oh, let's make it like this. It's just an egg sandwich.
Because I thought
Like,
that I was
make
actually
it-
like,
make
this
it
would
fun.
be funny, like Chick
Yeah.
Fil-A's egg sandwich from his mother.
But you got to
That's
get your
really good.
mom making it. Like
That's what I'm saying.
make-
I'm gonna take. I'll
do it
take
right.
care
No,
of
that's
that.
do it
pretty
right.
good.
All right, we'll get more into that
Yeah.
next week.
All right.
All right.
If you made
by
it
the way,
this far,
Yeah, vote.
I vote for us, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys tonight. This is so much fun.
It is. We
I
gotta-
missed. I love that we get an hour and a half every week. I mean to say that every week, but
I used to
great
be like,
see
how
it.
does Jogan do 2.5 hours? And I can totally see.
Jogan.
Did I say
You said
Jogan?
Jogan.
Jogan does 2.5
Rogan
hours.
does 2.5 hours. I was like,
Yeah.
how the fuck do you do 2.5
No.
hours?
This felt like 15 minutes. but-
Exactly. That's
All
why
right.
I was like, I
All right,
get
let's
it.
wrap it up before we get into something else.
All right.
All right.
Miss you guys.
Vote.